This UWSP Sports broadcast is brought to you by SPTV. Let's make media together.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to this dreary afternoon, and we're here with your broadcast of the final Pointers football game of the season here on SPTV. I'm Ben Zatuni. Alongside me today is Jake Senholz. Jake, how's your Saturday going, buddy?
Saturday is going all right so far. I'm happy to be set up and ready to bring the game. And Ben, I know you're a longtime member here of SPTV, of course, the sports producer, the events coordinator, and stuff. And this is going to be your last game, so hopefully.
Yeah, it is. Hopefully, we'll have a great game to watch today.
Exactly. Hopefully, the Pointers able to come out with a win for you today. And of course, thank you from all of our viewers and everybody here at SPTV for all your work over the years.
It's been fun. So let's get right down to it. The Pointers 2-5 overall, 1-3 in the WEAC this season. The Oshkosh Titans 5-2 overall, 3-1 in the WEAC. We know how good Oshkosh can be, Jake, but what really makes their offense tick?
Yeah, this offense very efficient. Starting with the quarterback Radovich, on the season so far, Radovich has a efficiency of 132.57. He averages 163 yards per game, and you pair that with a running game. This Oshkosh Titans team has two players of over 300 yards on the season, another one at 240. So obviously they spread the ball around their offense quite a bit. Between their receiving leaders and their rushing leaders, and then a quality quarterback as well. So really this offense really quite well-rounded. They have the ability to extend drives and keep their defense off the field. If you look at the defensive numbers between the Pointers and the Titans, the Pointers they have a lot more numbers because they play defense a lot more of the time. So
now going over the offensive side of the ball, up until 2 weeks ago, Matt Umansky was the starting quarterback for the Pointers, but in the game against La Crosse, Max Harrow got some playing time. He started last week against Stout. He's starting again today against Oshkosh for the Pointers. What can the viewers at home expect from Max Harrow?
Yeah, you could kind of see it as the game progressed last week. Max Harrow kind of developing into a little bit more of an actual drop back and read quarterback. At the beginning of last week's game, he kind of was making a first, possibly a second quick read, and then he was pulling the ball down and taking off. And you can kind of look for that to be a little bit different today. I think Max Harrow really took the week to work on reading going through his progressions, reading his receivers, and I think that you can expect quality quarterback play today out of Max Harrow. It is senior day today, but no senior quarterbacks on this team, so unless things go very wrong, you can expect to see Harrow for the entire game.
Now keeping it on the Pointers offense, last week, I guess you could say the star of the rushing game for the Pointers last week was Shamaje Williams. What can we expect for him today? Or do you think he's going to play today, or is it going to be Zach Bosick and Jahai Stigall? It seems like the Pointers have been kind of going with the hot hand, whoever it is that's going to carry the ball.
And that's a great way to put it. It really has been the hot hand for the Pointers offense. Really, whoever is rolling at the time, this coaching staff seems to stick with them. I wouldn't be surprised if Shamaje Williams starts this game. However, I think we see more of Zach Bosick this week than we did last week.
All right, we're going to keep it right here, but we're going to pause for the national anthem. And welcome back, folks, as the color guard makes their way off the field. Going back to our pregame show, Jake, just under a minute until kickoff. What do the Pointers have to do to get a W on Senior Day against Oshkosh? Oshkosh is the 10th-ranked team in the country. Everybody knows how good Oshkosh is, but what do the Pointers have to do to win this ball game?
Yeah, exactly. It goes without saying they're the number one team in the country, so you got to shut this offense down first and foremost. But besides that, the Pointers simply need to find a way to score. They really haven't been able to generate much offense all season long. They've been able to move the ball up and down the field pretty well against most teams, just unable to find a way to punch it in the end zone. And the kicking game has given them woes too. So they need to find a way to put points on the board, even if it is field goals. Every time you get within a range of the 20-yard line, you're going to have to find a way to get into the end zone, especially against, again, the number 10 team ranked in the entire nation. So I think in order to do that, you're going to have some solid quarterback play from Max Harrow. And overall, you've got to get Steve Harrow, the big tight end, number 84, and he is a senior. You've got to get Steve Harrow involved. This offense seems to run through him when they are having success, and he came alive in the second half of last week's game against Eau Claire. And he had 0 catches in the first half. I think he had 5 or 6 by the end of the game, and the Pointers' offense overall looked much better in that second half. So, again, just to summarize that, keys to the game, solid defense, get Steve Harrow going, and score points.
All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back with kickoff after this.
You can't go and work for a software company that's quite like this.
With programming, you see this concept become a reality, and I think that's really rewarding.
When people first come in, they immediately realize they are a part of a family.
They really care that people are happy here.
You're going to find that you're going to get up in the morning and you're going to look forward to coming to work. We've got a core of individuals that are going to reach a lot of new heights.
We're growing fast and always hiring. Apply today at skyward.com/careers.
And we're back live at Gerke Park for this SPTV presentation of Pointers football. The Pointers squaring off against Oshkosh for Senior Day right here in Stevens Point. The coin toss going on right now at midfield, but kind of looking ahead a little bit. Next week, the final 2 games for the Pointers. Next week on the 3rd is at Whitewater, and then the 10th at River Falls. And then for the Titans, next week is their Senior Day at home against Eau Claire, and then their last game on the road against Stout.
And the Pointers come into this game 1-3 in the WIAC, and you know, Ben, if the Pointers find a way to win this game, the Titans will drop to 3-2 in the WIAC, and the Pointers 2-3, so that would put them right in there in the mix. Of course, you've got UW-Whitewater also to deal with coming up next week on the schedule, and then you're ending the season with River Falls. However, if you can knock off the number 10 team in the entire country, not only is that a huge confidence boost, but again, it puts you right in the middle of the pack for the WIAC. So, big opportunity here for Stevens Point.
Yeah, and obviously the Titans are really trying to push to win out and get that at-large bid to the playoffs. They lose today, that could really put their playoffs hope in jeopardy as we're waiting for the opening kickoff of this game.
Yeah, definitely, and that not meant to be a knock on the Pointers program or this Pointers team. However, when you are the number 10 team in the nation and you come into a struggle into a game against a program that's pretty much been struggling, had a hard time finding their identity on offense so far this year, and that would be an ugly loss on the resume for Oshkosh. So, again, lots of opportunity and lots of reasons here for the Pointers to be motivated, besides just the fact that it's Senior Day and a pretty decent little crowd on hand today, not quite as big as the homecoming crowd we had last week.
And the weather isn't as bad as last week.
I was just going to say, and that's kind of strange because the weather actually pretty nice today, all things considered. It did rain a bit on us earlier, but things have cleared up now. Looking at the flags across the field, they're hardly moving, so wind, as of now at least, probably not really going to be much of a factor in this game. So maybe watch for both quarterbacks to try and air it out coming out of the gates.
Yeah, and the Pointers will take the opening kickoff. Deep back to return for the Pointers. They're all WIAC returner, senior Christian Almonte, and also number 28, Jahai Stegall. And kicking off for the Titans, number 98, Jaden Haig. And we are underway. Not returned by Stegall. out the back of the end zone for a touchback. So that's where the Pointers will start their drive in their own territory. So, Jake, what do the Pointers have to do to get to have a good first drive? We always talk about how big momentum is in a game, especially when you're playing a team like Oshkosh.
Yeah, well, we're about to find out who is going to start this game at running back. Jahai Stegall just jogged over, and it looks like he's going to be leaving the field. So it is Samaje Williams. And that's kind of what I guessed in the pregame show, that Samaje Williams was going to get the opportunity to start this game after such a fantastic week. You got to get him going and maybe complete a pass or two here and have some success on this first drive.
So 1st and 10 on their own 25, Harrow in the gun. And it's a handoff to Williams on the first play of the game. Runs forward, and he's tackled at about the 27-28 yard line. So not too much on that first carry, but it was good for Shamaj Williams to get the start, like you said, after his impressive performance last week.
Yeah, he definitely earned it. And as I also mentioned, I think we're going to see more of Zach Bosick than we did last week. But
so 2nd and 7 at their own 28. Harrow in the gun, Williams next to him. Almonte at the top of the screen, Harrow at the bottom. Harrow takes a snap, drops back to pass, looking, keeps it himself, and he's hit and taken down. A sack for Oshkosh.
You know, Ben, that
looks to be, that's number 45 on the Titans, Logan Heiss, sophomore linebacker. So brings up 3rd and 11 at their own 24 for the Pointers.
And the offensive line play going to be huge today for the Pointers. The offensive line held up very well last week against Stout, only allowed 1 sack all game. And now here, less than 2 minutes into this game, Max Harrow's already been sacked.
So Harrow in the gun, Williams next to him. One at the top of the screen, split out. Harrow takes a snap, drops back to pass. Looking, throws down the field for Almonte. Incomplete. Overthrown and incomplete down the sidelines. Almonte was about at the other 40-yard line. Incomplete pass, so that brings up 4th and 11, and we're going to see the Pointers punting unit.
And kind of not exactly a dangerous pass, but it could have led to something there as Harrow threw into double coverage. That was number 2, Taylor Ripplinger, and number 20, Calvin Schrilling, on the protection for the Titans.
And the punt is away, a short punt. Oshkosh telling their teammates not to touch it, and that's going to be down by Amari Johnson at about the 36-yard line. We'll keep it right here. So Pointers going 3 and out on their first drive. What can we talked about how good the Oshkosh offense is in our brief pregame show, but what can we expect for them on this first drive?
Well, again, you're just going to have to try and contain this running game. Oshkosh has such a powerful running game. They use the pass to their advantage, and they use it well. Again, their quarterback with a rating of over 130 this year. So really, you're going to have to contain the run because everything about this Titans offense starts with the run.
So 1st and 10 at their own 35. Radovich in the gun, takes a snap, drops back, pass, looking, throws, and it's complete to number 11. That's Riley Callis, junior wide receiver from Winneconne, Wisconsin.
And Callis is the leading receiver for the Titans on the year. He's got 325 yards total, averages 46 a game.
So it brings up 2nd and 4 at their own 41. Radovich in the gun once again. 2 receivers at the top of the screen, 1 at the bottom. Man in motion, takes the snap, keeps it himself, and he pitches it to number 25. That's Dom Tortorello, the wide receiver.
And Dom Tortorello, the wide receiver, also gets plenty
second most rushing yards for
Exactly.
Oshkosh.
That's what I was about to say. He also gets plenty of opportunities to carry the ball, and they're probably going to be using him a lot today as their typical starting running back, number 5, Mitch Gerhardt, is out for today's game.
So 1st and 10 at their own 49-yard line. Radovich in the gun, waiting for the snap, takes the snap. That's a handoff to number 6. That's J.P. Pierenboom, starting in place of Gerhardt's today, excuse me. So he gets his first carry of the day.
Yeah, and Pierenboom, a great runner in his own aspect. He's a pretty big guy back there. He goes 5'10", 195. Pretty solid.
Radovich taking the snap, throws, and it's complete to number 13. That's Riley Hayes, the sophomore wide receiver.
Another thing about this Oshkosh Titans
third and 1.
Titans offense, Ben, they move quickly, they move efficiently, they never really huddle. As you can see, every single player on the offense looking to the sideline, getting instructions from head coach Pat Cerrone. And this harkens all the way back to when they were in the national championship 2 years ago, the high up-tempo offense, a staple of the Oshkosh Titans program.
Man in motion now, Radovich handing it off. That's number 6 once again, Pierenboom. Gets enough for the first down, move the chains once again. So it looks like Oshkosh is moving up and down the field at their own will this first drive.
Pretty much so. And they're doing it with a nice mix of passes and rushes. And if things keep up this way, it could be a tiring day for the Pointers' defensive line.
So 1st and 10 at the Pointers 34. Radovich in the gun. Takes it, drops back to pass, looking, throws down the field. Caught! Touchdown, Oshkosh. That's number 11, Riley Callis. 11 minutes, 9 seconds left on the clock. And Oshkosh has their first touchdown of the game. And there's a Pointer slow to get up off the field. That's number 66, Michael Singer, but Jake, Oshkosh scores on a touchdown pass.
And that play right there shows you exactly why they are the number 10 ranked team in the country. Had no problem moving up and down the field, and then they just go with a nice play action pass, set up perfectly, and the ball just dropped right in there for Sonny Sequet was on the receiving end. No, Riley Callis there. I got it right this time. That was Riley Callis.
So Oshkosh up 7-0. We'll keep it right here. Obviously, for the people just tuning in, Pointers getting the opening kickoff. They went 3 and out. Oshkosh drove down the field, scored on a touchdown pass from Radovich to Callis. Now, what are the Pointers? Obviously, the Pointers have to score to get back into the game, common sense being that. But what do the Pointers do to actually get a drive going?
Yeah, again, I don't think that the number one thing on your mind, obviously you do want to score, but you can't just be concerned with getting to the end zone as quick as possible. You've just got to establish some offense here. Again, not sure if we're going to see Shamaje Williams or Zach Bosick on this ensuing drive, but you got to do something better than a 3 and out. Just start with something positive, start with a little win, maybe break off a nice long run, something. And, of course, the always dangerous Jahai Stegall and Christian Almonte back, and maybe they can provide a spark on the kick return game as they did last week.
Yeah, that being Christian Almonte returning a kickoff return, 93 yards for a touchdown against Stout last week. We'll see if he can bring some of that magic into senior day today.
Interesting observation here, Ben. The Oshkosh Titans carry 3 kickers on the team. Numbers 97, 98, and 99, all listed as kicker/punter. So far, doing both kickoffs, though, have been number 98, Jaden Haig.
And this will be returned by Almonte inside the 5, across the 10, the 15, the 20, the 30. Runs into his own man, and he's taken down, able to get some more yards after that, taken down at about the 30-yard line. So a decent return. That's where the Pointers will start their second drive of the game.
And that was number 86, Chris Hess, in there for the Titans, who kind of blew up that play on the return. Really nice hit. Just drove the Pointers blocking man right back into Almonte.
And Jahai Stegall getting the reps at the second drive for the Pointers offense. So maybe it'll be running back by committee in this game. Starts off 1st and 10 at their own 30 for the Pointers. Harrow in the gun. 3 receivers at the bottom of the screen. Takes the snap, drops back to pass, throws it to Almonte out on the sidelines, jukes it across, or gets in front of a defender, and steps out of bounds at about the 36-yard line.
And for half a second there, Ben, I thought Almonte might take
39-yard line, excuse me. 2nd and 1 now.
Thought he might have taken a step back and was going to throw that ball across the field, but.
And now a handoff to Stegall on the second play of this drive, and he gets enough for the first down going around the left end.
So that's what I was saying. You just get a first down, you get a small victory, and you start building off that. So now Pointers, just a couple of plays, they get themselves a first down. They're near midfield. Let's see what they can do with it.
So 1st and 10 at their own 43. Harrow in the gun. Stegall still next to him in the backfield. And a handoff to Stegall. No, Hero keeps it, and he just barely gets past the line of scrimmage, maybe 2 yards at the most.
That was a nice fake, though, on the part of Jahai Stegall. He fooled you for a second, fooled me for a second, and definitely took a few defenders with him, too. So just a simple or a small pickup there for Harrow, but a nice play design.
So 2nd and 6 at their own 47. Harrow now looking to the sidelines as a play is, or an audible is being signaled in. Two receivers at the bottom of the screen, one at the top. And it's a handoff to Stegall once again, and he's met in the backfield and taken down. That's number 35 for the Titans, Derek Jennings Jr., the senior linebacker from DeForest, Wisconsin, tackling Stegall for a loss.
Yeah, that play pretty much just had no chance. The defensive line of Oshkosh just dominant on that play.
So it brings up 3rd and 11 at their own 42 now for the Pointers. Just under 9.5 minutes left here in the first quarter.
Trenton Lacombe, the defensive lineman. He says he's only 5'10", 270. He looks a lot bigger than that.
Harrow takes a snap, drops back to pass, looking, throws down the field, and it's complete to Steve Harrow for the first down. Nice diving catch by Steve Harrow. Steve Harrow as Max Harrow was getting pressure up the middle from the Oshkosh defensive line.
Harrow to Harrow, and Harrow doing a great job there. He could feel the pressure coming. He stayed in the pocket, delivered that ball, and an even better catch by Steve Harrow. And I mentioned it in the pregame show. You got to get Steve Harrow going if you want to have success on this offense.
So it brings up 1st and 10 at Oshkosh's 45 for the Pointers. Stegall in at running back. Almonte in motion now. Harrow takes a snap, drops back pass, looking, dumps it to Almonte as he's coming out of the backfield, gets across the 40, all the way to about the 34-yard line. So great pass, great reception by Christian Almonte, showing off some of his speed on that reception.
And the speed, he has quite a lot of it. Almonte, he's only 5'7", 180 pounds. He's very shifty out there, though, and he's starting to become quite the versatile player for this Pointers offense. He is a senior, but doing a lot more this year than he has in past years.
So 1st and 10 at Oshkosh 35. Harrow in the gun.
The man in motion was 75 Jalen Burks.
Harrow takes a snap, drops back pass, looking, throws, tries to elude a defender, takes it himself up the middle, and just barely gets past the line of scrimmage. 2 yards at the most, kind of a lost play.
Yeah, lost play, but at least Harrow was able to avoid what would have been 10 or 12-yard sack and get the ball up to the line of scrimmage. And that's something that the freshman Max Harrow can offer you that Matt Urmansky and even Neubauer sometimes just can't. The smaller and a little bit more athletic Max Harrow able to get out of trouble there.
So 2nd and 9 and Oshkosh is 34. Stegall in the game at running back. Harrow in the gun, waiting for the snap. Takes the snap, drops back to pass, looking, throws down the field for Steve Harrow, and it's caught! He's loose! He's going to go into the end zone! Touchdown, Pointers! What a reception by Steve Harrow. I wasn't sure if he's going to be able to hang on. He does, and he scores on senior day.
What a catch that was, and I don't like to toot my own horn, but again, I just mentioned it, and I said it in the pregame show. The reason that they just scored on this drive was all because of Steve Harrow. 2 big-time passes, and Steve Harrow single-handedly doing it over there. Anybody else pretty much would have dropped that pass, but he gathers it and makes his way to the end zone. Pointers now just an extra point away from tying up this game.
As Victor Ponterio is on for the extra point. And it is no good. Wide left. And a little bit of his struggles from earlier in this season continue over. 7-6 Titans, 7:21 left here in the first quarter. We'll keep it right here.
And that can be huge, especially in a game like this, Ben. You can't afford to be giving away points, especially with the struggles that the Pointers have had all season on the kicking game. If this game comes down to a 2 or 3 or possibly even 4-point difference towards the end of the game, that missed extra point can prove to be huge. And as you mentioned, Ben, that has been a woe in this Pointers success all season. Not quite exactly sure how many extra points they've missed, but I'm almost positive they've missed at least one every single game we've covered.
And in the Platteville game, I think if I remember correctly, they had 5 missed kicks between the two teams. So
yep, 5 total. I believe the Pointers missed an extra point and missed a field goal. Might have missed even 2 extra points in that one. So.
And last week at Stout, the punting game wasn't as strong as it could have been in the first half. So hopefully they can get that figured out because, Jake, as you said, in these tight ball games, the little things are going to start to matter.
Little things matter all the time. Is again, yes, just like you mentioned, especially in a game like this. Victor Ponterio is only a freshman. It'll be interesting to see what direction the Pointers go in next year as far as the kicking game.
And deep back for Oshkosh to return, 25 Tortorello and number 14, Mark Nellen. Or excuse me, that was number 11 deep back, Riley Callis. And the ball goes out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So Oshkosh will start at their own 25-yard line. Now, do you think we can expect more of the same from Oshkosh? Their high-tempo, no-huddle type offense, really chewing down the clock and moving down the field at their own will.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what you're going to see. The up-tempo and led by the run type offense until they get somewhere beyond the Pointers' 40-yard line, and then again watch for any sort of big-time play, just like we had in that last series.
So Radovich in the gun, and that's a handoff to one of the running backs. Hard to tell from up here.
I think that was number 23, and
that's number 23.
That's Max Nowinski. Max is a friend of mine. We're both from Anago, and Max the third or fourth guy on this depth chart, but he runs with the most power out of anybody.
So 2nd and 8 at their own 27-yard line. Radovich in the gun, drops back to pass, keeps it himself, takes a shot downfield, and that's caught by Callis. A little bit of a tumbling, diving catch there, and he hauls it in to move the chains for a first down once again, and keeps the clock moving.
A bit of a wobbly ball there by Radovich. However, Callis able to come back to it and made a nice catch.
So 1st and 10 at their own 40 now as they're waiting for there seems to be a problem with the chains on the other side of the field as they wait to get that figured out.
Yeah, referee over helping the front man on the chain gang. Looks like he got wrapped up a little bit. Not quite sure what happened there, but looks like he's back and set up and ready to go. So, again, this Titans offense receiving all their information right from the sidelines, much like the Pointers offense.
So, as I said before, 1st and 10 at their own 40. Just about 6 minutes left here in the first quarter. Radovich in the gun. Nowinski behind him. Takes a snap, and it's a handoff. Nowinski once again goes up the middle, and he's tackled after maybe a yard carry at the most. Taken down by number 66, Michael Singer. So glad to see him back onto the field after he was slow to get up on that Oshkosh touchdown pass on the Titans' first drive.
Yeah, Michael Singer, a very important part of the Pointers' defensive lineman. Big body in there as he goes 6'4", 330, just a freshman too.
So 2nd and 8 now for Oshkosh. Radovich in the gun. Callis in motion now. And it's handoff to Nowinski once again. Gets maybe nothing. Cameron Krasansky among a host of others. First at the point of contact there. Great job by the Pointers stuffing the run.
Yeah, the Pointers really doing a great job bottling up that run in the middle. Max, I've known him for a long time, watched him play all the way through high school. He's not much of a bounce it to the outside type of guy. So when he's on the field, if you can bottle up the middle, you're going to contain him pretty well.
So it brings up 3rd and 8 for Oshkosh. Radovich getting the play from the sideline. Nowinski still in the game at running back. Radovich in the gun. Nowinski in motion now.
So 5 split out wide.
Takes the snap, drops back to pass looking, and it's caught by number 3. That's their tight end, Cody Moon, 6'3", 250. Big boy there for Oshkosh, and his reception moves the chains once again for the Titans.
And just a missed opportunity just outside the reach of number 4, Cameron Krasansky, the safety, who was stepping up, maybe was thinking about putting some pressure on the quarterback, and he was just fingertips, inches away from interception there.
So Radovich in the gun, drops back to pass, looking, throws, and it's caught by Callis. And he gets enough for the first down. Nice crossing pattern across the middle of the field by Callis. Gets a reception, gets enough for the first down. Once again, Jake, moving the chains for Oshkosh.
Moving the chains, doing it again at their will. We keep saying that, but that's really what this Titans offense is able to do. They pretty much can call any type of play, anything that they want, and eventually it's going to work for them.
So 1st and 10 at the Pointers 36. Radovich in the gun now. Pointer showing blitz possibly. And
Yes.
it's a handoff, or no, it's a keeper by Radovich, and he pitched it to number 13, Ryan Hayes. And Hayes was able to shake off a defender, maybe get 4 yards on that carry. 2 yards on that carry.
Yeah, Ryan Hayes now the second wide receiver that has had an opportunity to run the ball for Oshkosh. And the Pointers had 7 men on the line that last play.
Radovich in the gun now. Nowinski behind him. Takes the snap, drops back to pass, looking, throws, and it's incomplete. Just out of the reach of number 85. That's one of his other tight ends, Tommy Nonig. So brings up 3rd and 8 for Oshkosh.
And Micah Childs was right there anyway, just a step behind the receiver. And even if he would have caught that ball, if Childs was right there, I think he would have blown him up.
So brings up 3rd and 8. The Pointers 34-yard line. Radovich in the gun. Nowinski behind him. 2 receivers split out top of the screen. 1 at the bottom. Radovich takes a snap. Handoff to Nowinski. Bursts ahead for the first down and more. And he gets inside the 20-yard line for Oshkosh.
And Ben, the Pointers just fed into exactly what Max Nowinski wanted there. Both linebackers showing pressure, backed off the line at the last second, creating 2 wide open spaces. And I just mentioned it a second ago, Max not the type of guy to bounce it to the outsides. So if you leave him holes up the middle, he's going to exploit them, as you saw right there.
So 1st and 10 at the Pointers' 18-yard line. Radovich in the gun. And it's a handoff to Nowinski once again. Bounces it to the outside, upended after maybe 2 yards.
Yeah, that one designed outside handoff to the right, and the Pointers doing pretty well sniffing that out. I believe on the tackle was 91, Malik Smith.
So 2nd and 6 now for Oshkosh. Radovich in the gun. Waiting for the snap. Takes a snap, drops back to pass, looking, throws for Tortorello, incomplete. Intended receiver was Dom Tortorello in the end zone, incomplete, brings up 3rd down.
And a nice play design there, but good coverage by O.J. James, and the ball kind of just sailed out of Radovich's hands. Max Nowinski out of the game, and in comes number 6, J.P. Pierenboom, excuse me. Also in the backfield, number 3, Cody Moon.
So Radovich in the gun, Tortorello in motion now, and it's a handoff, or it's a pitch to Tortorello. Tries to stiff arm a defender, and short, number 17 for the Pointers, Donovan Lucas. Great job fighting off that stiff arm attempt. Brings up a 4th down, and Oshkosh is on to attempt a field goal.
Yeah, a really good job there by the Pointers offense, forcing them to go, by the Pointers defense, forcing the Oshkosh Titans to go for a field goal. And that's huge there, keeping them out of the end zone. And you can live with field goals, especially against this high-powered offense of Oshkosh.
So Peyton Peterson on to attempt the field goal for Oshkosh. The kick is up, and it's going to be no good. Wide left. Pushes it wide left. And you got to be happy for the Pointers keeping it at a 7-6 ball game. keep it right here.
Hey, you're going to be more than happy if you're the Pointers with that result because, again, especially in college football as a whole, but especially in Division III, kickers are just not the most trustworthy people on the team. So anytime you can force a kicking opportunity instead of allowing them to get in the end zone, I mean, you'll take that every time. And now an opportunity for the Pointers offense to take the ball.
Taking over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Just a little over 2 minutes left here in the first quarter. And Zach Bosik's now in the game at running back, Jake. Harrow keeps it himself, and it's complete to Almonte at the out to the outside. Nice little reception there. So 3 drives for the Pointers, 3 different running backs.
Yeah, 3 different running backs, and maybe trying to figure out who that hot hand is going to be, although I guess it's kind of hard to get hot if you're only out there for one series.
So 2nd and 2 at their own 28. Harrow in the gun, waiting for the snap. Now looks to the sideline for a new play.
Not sure. Obviously, we don't see what happens in practice and stuff, but Zach Bosik finding himself as the 3rd man on the depth chart all of a sudden.
And it's a handoff to Bosik. Tries to bounce it to the outside. Looks to have gotten enough for the first down. And the referee signals so. So first down, 1st and 10 at their own 30.
Yeah, a nice little run there. A little pitch to the right side off tackle. And Bosik does his job, picks up the first down.
So neither team really being a fan of having the quarterback under center as Harrow's in the gun once again.
Yeah, only a handful of plays all season long have I seen a Pointers quarterback under center.
Harrow takes the gun, handoff to Bosik, tries to bounce it outside, back inside now, and there's a flag on the play.
I think that's going to be called on Christian Almonte.
For a holding.
I think a holding or a block in the back, something like that. Almonte's pointing to himself and kind of saying, I think that one was on me. There was tons of room, tons of green space over on the left side there for Bosik. Chop block is what they're going to end up calling on number 1 Christian Almonte. So indeed, that penalty was on Almonte. It's going to negate the nice little gain by Zach Bosik. But Ben, unfortunate, any time that you have kind of a play like that gets broken down and you're kind of just making stuff happen in the open field, players who typically don't block very often, like wide receiver Christian Almonte, a lot of times find themselves end up being called for a penalty of some sort like that, a chop block, a block in the back, a hold, something. So unfortunate for the Pointers as it moves them all the way back to their 15.
So 1st and 25 now, 50 seconds left here in the first quarter. Harrow in the gun. Bosik, the running back, behind him. Takes a snap, and it's a handoff to Bosik. Tries to go up the middle, and absolutely nothing. Great tackle for Oshkosh. That's number 93. Trenton Lacombe. Great tackle by him.
Fantastic.
Lost a 3 on the play, brings up 2nd and 28.
Fantastic tackle, Lacombe from Seymour, Wisconsin. And he's who I mentioned earlier. He's only listed at 5'10", 270, but the sophomore looks and plays a lot bigger than that.
And it looks like the Pointers will just let the clock run out in the first quarter, or will they? They won't. Harrow back to pass, complete to Bosik out of the backfield. He's going up the middle. He's got room to run, and he's short of the first down. So when the second quarter starts, it should be about 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3 for the Pointers.
And a really good play call there, and Zach Bosik able to use his speed. There is a flag on the play. I thought it might be like a horse collar tackle or something like that.
Sideline warning on Stevens Point. End of the first quarter. We're going to take a commercial break. We'll be back with the start of the second quarter after this.
Don't have a television? Don't worry. SPTV is available on demand at uwsp.edu/SPTV. Find your favorite shows on our website, plus links to all of our YouTube content. Stay up to date with SPTV news that includes information about campus and community happenings. And don't forget to like us on Facebook, we're SPTV-UWSP Television. SPTV. Let's make media together.
UW-Stevens Point is home.
It's a university where professors know your name and get you involved in research.
They inspire us to realize big dreams.
At UW-Stevens Point, sustainability is what we stand for.
Our beautiful campus encourages exploration, developing new fields, and problem solving for the real world.
It's a great place to launch your career.
UW-Stevens Point is home.
Apply today at uwsp.edu.
Welcome back to the broadcast here, folks. Zach Bosick's reception at the end of the first quarter was enough to get the first down. So 1st and 10 at their own 41 for the Pointers. Harrow in the gun, Bosick behind him, or next to him. And it's complete on a Harrow's pass is complete to Kristen Almonte, able to get some yards after the catch there. Maybe about 4 yards on that play. 2nd and 6 now.
Nice little catch by Almonte. And just to harken back real quickly to that last play of the first quarter, that was a huge play, Ben. It took the Pointers offense from being trapped and having to punt inside their own 15 to now with the ball on their own 45. So
Harrow takes a snap, drops back to pass, looking, throws down the field for Harrow.
Oh, no.
Intercepted by Oshkosh. That's number 20, Calvin Schilling. He's got room to run down the Pointer sideline. He makes a move, and he's ushered out of bounds at about the 45-yard line. So big mistake for the Pointers on that play.
Yeah, and that one worried me coming out of Harrow's hands. He kind of was leaning back as he let that one go, and it just sailed over the receiver's head, and he was being double covered. So that second defender standing about a yard or two behind him, and the ball just dropped straight into his hands. So fantastic opportunity there for the Pointers. Unfortunately, ends in a turnover. And now all of a sudden the Oshkosh Titans have the ball in Pointers territory.
45-yard
Yep.
line.
Pointers 45-yard line. And a couple offensive line moves being made into the game for the Titans is number 65, Mike Olson.
At center. So Radovich in the gun now. Pierenboom next to him. Takes a snap, and it's a handoff to Pierenboom, and as he runs up the middle, breaks about one tackle, gets maybe 2 yards on that carry. Pierenboom looks to be one of those running back that runs hard and isn't afraid to lower his shoulder.
No, definitely not. He hits the hole hard, and even if there's nothing there, he, like you said, will drop his shoulder and try and get, if anything, a yard or at least make the defender pay for the tackle.
So 2nd and 7 now. Radovich in the gun. Takes a snap, and it's a fumble. The ball fell out of his hands, and he's taken down by Boyd Delabrew. A sack for the senior on senior day.
And a couple seniors getting going, making nice plays here on senior day. And that one kind of just fell out of the hand of Kyle Radovich. He took the snap cleanly, started to drop back, and the ball just fell straight out of his hands. He was able to pick it up and recover. Still kept his eyes downfield. I thought he was going to be able to make something out of it. However, he was swallowed up. And a really nice play there, again, like you mentioned, by the senior.
So 3rd and 14 now for Oshkosh. Radovich in the gun, drops back to pass, rolls to his right, and he throws complete for the first down. What a throw by Radovich. Completed the number 1, Mitchell Guerin, the wide receiver. Nice throw by Radovich.
A really nice throw by Radovich, and as of the end of the first quarter, Radovich had 77 yards. I think he's well over 100 now, and he's finding all different receivers too.
And that touchdown pass in the first quarter to Riley Callis, 34 yards. And it's complete to Guerin once again. Tries to break a defender. That pass off to the left sideline. Gets a few yards on that. So back to the first quarter, Riley Callis getting Oshkosh on the board. 34-yard pass from Kyle Radovich. Steve Harrow getting the Pointers on the board. 34-yard touchdown pass from Max Harrow. Victor Pontario missed the extra point to give us this 7-6 ball game. Just under 12.5 minutes till halftime.
And Callis only averaging 46 yards on the season. Well, he's got 63 alone in that first quarter.
Radovich keeps it himself, drops back to pass, looking. He's flushed out of the pocket, keeps it himself. He's got the first down and more. jukes the defender and steps out of bounds at the 10-yard line. So, and moving the chains once again, Radovic showing he can run the ball.
And Ben, number 57, Kendrick McGee, had a chance to take down Radovic, and Radovic able to just slip through his hands, but he could have prevented a big play there. McGee kind of slapped his hand on the ground in frustration after he missed Radovic there. And understandably so, as the quarterback gets away and scrambles for about 20 yards.
So 1st and 10 at the 10-yard line. Radovic in the gun. Pierenboom behind him. Man in motion now. That's a handoff to Pierenboom. Jukes a couple defenders. Fights off a tackle. And he gets inside at about the 5-yard line. Gets to about the 5-yard line. Keeps the clock rolling. And furthers the Titans deeper into the red zone.
And Pierenboom, again, making the most out of every opportunity he touches the ball. He just never stops churning his legs. It took 3 Pointers defensemen after the initial point of contact to take him down.
So 2nd and goal at the 5-yard line. Radovic in the gun. Pierenboom next to him. Man in motion now. Radovic takes the snap, drops back to pass, looking, throws. And that's caught for a touchdown. Is that Callis again?
It was indeed Callis.
It was. So Callis' second touchdown of the day for the Pointers. Second touchdown of the day for the Titans. Puts them up 13-6 over the Pointers. Just under 11 minutes left here in the first half.
And that was Donovan Lucas on the coverage. Lucas has been having a pretty good string of games here these last couple weeks, and that was fantastic coverage too, Ben. Just a great pass and an even
great
better
job fitting the ball into a tight window.
And an even better catch coming down with that, able to get his foot in the end zone was Callis.
And no good. It is good. It looked like it was no good up here. Great job by Donovan Lucas on that extra point attempt to get some pressure on the kick. I thought it was no good.
Alex and I were having that same exact problem last week. Every kick we thought was good wasn't, and every one we thought was no good was. And it's kind of just a strange angle that we're seeing the goalposts here in our press box. The one on the other end of the field, on the far end of the field, doesn't seem to give me so many problems. But this one down in the store and Subway end zone, just kind of hard to tell, I guess.
Based at the angle we're sitting at, we'll keep it right here. So Pointers getting the ball back now. Their previous drive ending on a Max Harrow interception. Oshkosh getting the ball at about the Pointers' 40-yard line, and they were able to drive down the field, score that touchdown. Pass from Radovic to Riley Callis again. Second touchdown hookup between the two today. What do the Pointers have to do on this drive? Because they really do need to get some points.
Yeah, I think you just go back to kind of what you were doing on that last drive before the big pass attempt by Harrow. And maybe, too, Harrow, just try not to force things into double coverage, especially against such a talented defense. They're going to make you pay if you're off on your passes, whether they're long, short, whatever. Maybe just try and complete some shorter passes and get the passing game going some other way than a 40-yard bomb downfield.
And Stegall and Almonte deep back to return.
Always dangerous.
Returned by Jahai Stegall at about the 10. 15 to the 20. Tries to cut it back outside. Gets past the 25-yard line to about maybe the 26. That's where the Pointers will start their drive. We'll keep it right here. Now, who do you think is going to be the running back on this drive, Jake? Pointers have had 3 offensive drives so far in this first half, 3 different running backs.
Yeah, Bosick looked pretty good on that last drive. However, Stegall jogs over and gets in the middle of the huddle. So I am going to say it's Stegall, and indeed it is.
It is. So we'll see how much he factors into the Pointers offense on this drive.
And each one of these Pointers running backs give you a little bit different look.
So 1st and 10 at their own 27. Stegall split out. Now Harrow motions him back. And it's a handoff to Stegall as he tries to get around the end. And he's upended and taken down. Nice tackle by Oshkosh. That's number 20, Calvin Schilling. So the man with the interception of Harrow on the previous drive gets a nice tackle of Stegall on that play.
And I'm not a coach, but kind of just a curious call there as Stegall. Well, I'll go back to it after this play.
So Harrow in the gun, waiting for the snap. Almost had an
almost
lineman jumping off sides.
Almost.
Hard count, not working on that play.
A nice attempt by Harrow, though.
So Harrow in the gun, waiting for the snap. Takes the snap, drops back to pass, looking, throws, and it's complete to Steve Harrow. Enough for the first down. So, Jake, you were talking about the previous play before this first down completion to Steve Harrow, that carry by Stegall.
It was kind of just questionable to me, as Stegall had just made the kickoff return, and then he had to run all the way off the field, and then he ran to the opposite side of the field to line up, and the moment he got there, he was called to go back into motion and then had the ball and came all the way back across the field. So he ran about 200 yards in a matter of a minute there.
Hand off to Stegall once again, tries to burst up the middle, carrying a few people. Gets maybe 4 yards on that, 3-4 yards. And now 2nd and 5 now, just under 9.5 minutes left here in the first half.
And now Stegall, slow to get up and into the game, comes Samaje Williams. So my whole point with that was just the guy didn't even get a second to breathe. So maybe you could have ran the ball with somebody else. But again, I'm not a coach. Into the game now, though, is Samaje Williams. You can kind of expect he'll be getting the ball here.
So Harrow in the gun, 2nd and 5. 3 receivers at the bottom of the screen. And it's a pass to Almonte out to the sideline, and he gets enough for the first down. 2 flags, 1 flag coming in out of the backfield, 1 flag coming in after Almonte had completed the pass. So we'll see if they're both for the same thing or what all the flags for.
Yeah, and a lot of the time I'm able to pick up and try and predict what the refs saw there, what the refs are going to call. However, in this situation, I'm not quite sure. We got a
holding on the pointers.
Is that the only call?
And the referee didn't turn on his microphone, so we don't know who that's on. So it was a hold on the pointers. Moves them back. Not what you wanted when you were trying to drive down the field, and you really do need points on this drive.
Yeah, definitely, and that's 2 drives in a row now that the Pointers offense has been moving the ball and then has to go backwards 10 or 15 yards due to a holding call. And offensive holding, just one of the biggest killers in all of football. Samaje Williams probably going to get the ball here.
Up 2nd and 14 now. And a false start
on the
Pointers offensive line. So once again, moving back, add another 5 yards, 2nd and 19 now. Really not what you want, Jake. We talked about it in the pregame show, how important it was to play fundamentally sound and limit the mistakes, especially against a team like Oshkosh, ranked number 10 in the country, and they've been able to drive up and down the field at their own will so far in this game. And we've said it multiple times on this Pointers drives, they really do need to get some points on this drive, and they're not helping themselves so far.
Yep, they're going the wrong way, Ben. Backwards 15 yards in the past 2 plays. 2nd and 19, and a bunch of offensive confusion now.
Harrow in the gun now. Takes a snap, jumps back, pass looking, and it's completed to Almonte out of the backfield. Shakes off the defender.
See, now
it's another loss once again. A host of Titans tackling him and he fell out of bounds. So not what you want either on that play.
No, and this is the situation in my mind where you do take a shot downfield. You're in 2nd and 19. You're kind of back.
Now 3rd and 24.
Now 3rd and 24. On that play, you were in 2nd and 19. And that's when you want to take a shot downfield. A little toss out to Christian Almonte in the flats when you need to pick up 19 yards and you're back on your own 25-yard line. It's just not going to do it. 3rd and 24 now for the Pointers.
Now it's a perfect time to take a shot downfield. And Harrow keeps it himself up the middle, shakes off a couple defenders, and a flag on the play as Harrow is tackled.
2 flags came flying in.
He's tackled by number 2 on the Titans, Taylor Ripplinger, the senior defensive back from Nashotah, Wisconsin. So we'll see what these flags are for.
Yeah, and Pointers possibly going to catch a break here and get an automatic first down. However, in my mind, when it's 3rd and 24 and you call a quarterback keep, that's kind of the same thing as saying that the drive is over, at least in my book. Max Harrow a good runner, but not often going to pick up 24
and
yards.
Holding on the pointers. And
2 different penalties on the pointers. This is getting to be a sloppy drive here, Ben.
So nonetheless, it'll bring up 4th down.
And 4th down, and not sure where exactly you're going to spot the ball. I think this will be a 15-yard penalty. No, but okay, that makes sense. Oshkosh going to decline both penalties. And just take the punt here.
So Sam Bleasy on the punt now. And now they say 4th and 13. So deep back to return point. The Titans have 2 men back to return the punt. Tortorello is one of them. And now the other man comes up. So Tortorello, the only one back to return the punt, as Bleasy awaits the snap.
And he might be back a little deep. Oh, as Bleasy gets off a nice punt this time.
And it's returned Tortorello by about the 35. Shakes out the defender, gets a little bit extra for maybe a 5-yard return.
And you would like to see a punt like that off the foot of Sam Bleasy every single time he's out there. Not awful field positioning to start with if you're, well, especially if you're the Titans offense, but if you're the Pointers defense, you're able to work with this. Again, the goal here every single time obviously is going to be to stop them, but you really mainly want to keep them out of the end zone, force a field goal situation, and every time you're able to do that, that's a win for this Pointers defense.
So we talked about how important it was for the Pointers to score on this next drive. As Radovich takes a snap, drops back the pass, looking, flushed out of the pocket, keeps it himself. It's maybe close to a 5-yard carry on that play, but we talked about how important it was for the Pointers to score on their previous offensive possession. Now, Jake, it's just as equally important for the defense to stop Oshkosh on this drive.
It is very much so. The defense, extremely important today, every single time they're out there. And it was just kind of funny on the last play. Radovich went and he turned left to hand the ball off. However, his running back went to the right.
And it's a handoff to Nowinski.
That is Max Nowinski back in the game. And so it must have been Nowinski on the first down play here. Radovich took the snap. He went to turn to hand it off left, and Nowinski just blew by him on the right. So clearly it was going to be a fake handoff, but a little bit of a miscommunication there.
Brings up 3rd and 6 at their own 47-yard line. Nowinski still the running back. Radovich in the gun waiting for the snap.
An opportunity to get off the field here for the Pointers defense.
Takes a snap, rolls to his left, throws down the field, incomplete, and a flag on the play. Looks to be probably pass interference or maybe holding.
It was number 5, Amari Johnson, on the coverage.
And Brightback is signaling that the ball was over the receiver's head anyway, so it shouldn't.
Uncatchable ball. And there was pushing and shoving going on between both number 1, Mitchell Garand, and number 5, Amari Johnson. If anything, that should have been a no call in my book, as there was a little bit of pushing back and forth.
And excuse me, that's on number 4, Cameron Krasansky. So it wasn't even on Amari Johnson.
So it was away from the play, Cameron Krasansky.
And the crowd here showing their displeasure with a rain of boos on that call. Towards that call, excuse me.
It sounds like Roman Reigns just walked into the building here, as nothing but boos coming from the crowd.
So the penalty helps Oshkosh move the chains. 1st and 10 at the Pointers' 42-yard line. Just under 6 minutes left in the first half.
Penalties killing the Pointers team as a whole.
Radovich dropping back, completes it to Nowinski out of the backfield, and gets through a tackle of Krasansky.
Yeah, penalties killing the Pointers team as a whole. They can't catch a break on offense or defense. I'm sure Coach Breitbach.
2nd and 6 now.
2nd and 6. I'm sure Coach Breitbach going to be having a word, possibly with the officials, but definitely with his team, about the penalties during halftime.
So 2nd and 6 now. Radovich in the gun. And keeps it himself, and it's complete to Garrett. Oh, no, dropped it. Oshkosh would have had the first down had Garrett held on to it, but it looked like it was, he tried to make a fingertip catch and he wasn't able to haul in the pass, so incomplete, 3rd and 6 now.
Unable to hold on, you could see he whipped his head around as he was concerned about the 2 Pointers defenders who were going to line up to smack him with a hit, and he forgot to bring the ball into his chest.
So 1 receiver at the top of the screen, 2 at the bottom. Radovich in the gun. Nowinski behind him as the running back. And it's a handoff to Nowinski. Nothing doing. Great stop by the Pointers defensive line. Brings up 4th down for Oshkosh.
Yep.
And we'll see if Oshkosh decides to go for it. It looks like they're going to as of right now.
And so far, besides for that one big run in the first quarter, Max Nowinski being pretty well kept in check here by the Pointers defense.
And Oshkosh will be going for it. 4th and 5 at the Pointers' 37-yard line. Crowd getting loud here at Gerke Park.
Biggest moment of the game so far for the Pointers defense.
Radovich in the gun. Nowinski, once again, the running back, as he has been most of the drive. So Radovich back to pass, looking, throws, intercepted! That's Omari Johnson down the sideline. He cuts back. He's still going, and he's tackled it just past the 30-yard line. Another interception for Omari Johnson. Great job by the Pointers defense stepping up, Jake. The most important play of the game for the Pointers defense, and boy, did they step up.
Hey, exactly, most important play, and not only did they get a stop, they did one better, and they got an interception, returned it. Omari Johnson returned it about 40 yards all the way down the field. That was a really nice return, too, able to get some extra yards after that initial point of contact. And wasn't a terrible pass by Radovich. But Omari Johnson went up to get it, kind of bobbled it for a second and ended up with it, was streaking down the sidelines on the far side, and all of a sudden the Pointers now with plenty of time to work with, 4:15 remaining in this half.
And 1st and 10 at the Titans' 28-yard line. So Bosick, the running back on this drive.
Bosick, the running back, probably, I wouldn't be surprised if a play is drawn up for him.
And it is a handoff to Bosick as he runs ahead. Gets tackled after about a 4-yard carry.
And a really nice patient run there as Bosick kind of hit a wall after the first 2 or 3 yards. And then he put a hand on his lineman and kind of just ran right behind him as his lineman pushed his way through. And a really nice gain there on 1st down to set up the Pointers' 2nd and 5. And the Pointers here
taking a timeout.
Oshkosh
timeout, excuse me. We're going to take a timeout as well. We'll be back after this.
I just wanted to get good grades and to do well. But it also made me realize that I have a lot of career goals.
You're there to get a full college experience, not only participate in your sport, but participate in things outside of that, and it's all about growing as a person.
Welcome back to the broadcast. 2nd and 5 for the Pointers at the Titans' 23-yard line after an Omari Johnson interception return. Harrell keeps it himself, throws downfield. Intended receiver was Steve Harrell, and it should be pass interference on the Titans.
And it is indeed going to draw a flag on the coverage of Steve Harrell was, I believe that was number 7, A.J. Plua from South Side, Milwaukee. And indeed, it is going to be pass interference. We're getting the official call here. No, we're going to get a holding on A.J. Plua. And Hara knew it. He was calling for the flag as soon as he hit the ground. And the holding call would explain why he was just about a step late on his route there. That one just a quick 2-step drop and a quick pass designed that way from Hara to Hara. And Hara was just a step behind on his route. So makes sense with the holding call. And look for the Pointers to attack the end zone the next couple plays as the backfield is empty. Absolutely. And 5 men split out wide now.
So Harrow in the gun by himself.
And the Pointers, you got to throw the ball into the end zone.
Keeps it himself, and he's tackled by number 45 of the Titans. That's Logan Heisey. Don't really understand that play call.
No, I'm not quite sure if that was a design keep or not. If it wasn't, Harrow didn't really take too much time with his reads. Again, 4 split out wide this time.
Back to passes Harrow, and he keeps it himself once again, and once again the same result. Tackled after.
Yeah, Harrow has got to trust his offensive line and stay in the pocket longer. Again, I don't think either of those 2 plays were designed to be quarterback keepers. I think that the Pointers are trying to throw the ball into the end zone. And if you don't give your receivers more than a second and a half to run their route before you take off, especially when you have 4 different guys running all different routes, you've got to take more time and be more patient in the pocket, because now you find yourself in a 3rd and 9 situation and you haven't even attempted a pass yet.
So 3rd and 9 at the Oshkosh 12-yard line. Bosick next to Harrow, who drops back, throws towards the end zone.
That's going to be a flag.
Okay, thank you. Jonte Webb completely shoved down by the Oshkosh defensive back. I don't know how the Titans defensive back thought he was going to get away with that. He blatantly just shoved down Jonte Webb.
Man, even the replacement refs from the NFL a number of years ago would have called that one. That was probably the most blatant penalty of the day. Just 2 hands to the chest, and I think it's going to be on the same player, number 7, A.J. Plua. So
that's number 7.
So A.J. Plua now giving the Pointers new life 2 different times on this drive as he commits 2 different holding penalty, or a holding penalty and a pass interference penalty. This time it was in the end zone, so Pointers get to move the ball halfway to the end zone, ball on about the 2.5-yard line now.
And Shamaje Williams in the game at running back, and makes sense to just give him the ball and let him
power it up the middle.
Zone. And Harrow keeps it himself.
Oh, that was dangerous.
Dangerous pass off. He threw it back behind Steve Hara, who had to reach back with one hand, and it bounced off Hara's fingertips.
And he had
asking to get an interception.
You are asking for some sort of turnover there, especially when Hara has to turn around and he kind of bobbled the ball back up into the air. The play design was there as Hara was open. If the ball would have been put on the numbers, it would have worked. However, a very tight window for the freshman quarterback.
So 2nd and goal from the Titans 2. Just under 2.5 minutes left here in the first half. Harrow in the gun.
Empty.
And it's a handoff to Williams, and he's short of the end zone. Just short of the end zone, so it brings up 3rd and goal.
And again, Shamaje Williams is the power back for this Pointers offense. Into the game, though, Jonte Webb comes out of the game, and entering the game is the fullback, Noah Pulsifer.
So it looks like the Pointers are going to – you have to think with the bigger bodies they're bringing in that this is going to be a run play.
And Pulsifer lined up to block. Shamaje Williams probably going to get the ball and take it to the left here. And indeed he does, cuts it back right.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown Pointers. Touchdown for Shamaje Williams. Great job by the Pointers getting a touchdown on this play. If they make the extra point, it'll be a 1-point ball game, 14-13.
And not quite a true trap play there. Not quite a true.
It looks like they're going for 2 to tie the ball game. You like this call?
You know what? I do like this call. Points are not that easy to come by all season long for this Pointers offense, and especially in today's game. But hey, only 1:40 remaining in this first half. If you get this, I mean, even without converting here, you're right back in this game. So if you can convert and tie it up and then get a stop on defense, you're going to go into the locker room feeling pretty good about yourself being tied with the number 1
Pointers taking a timeout.
Number
so
10
maybe
team
they're
in the country.
discussing what they want to do. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back for the extra point after this.
Being a part of the different activities and organizations that I've been a part of, I'm actually able to see myself where I'm like, hey, I actually can make a change. I'm one person that can make a difference.
Division III has helped me to develop teamwork skills, critical thinking skills, time management skills.
It's not just about basketball, or it's not just about school. It's about developing yourself as a person altogether.
And we are back at Gerke Park for this SBTV presentation of Pointers football. Shamaje Williams scoring on a 1-yard touchdown run on 3rd and goal to bring it to a 14-12 ball game. And the Pointers are still deciding to go for 2 after taking the timeout, looking to make this a tie ball game with 1:40 left here in the first half.
Yeah, and again, I mentioned it right before the commercial break. Why not go for 2 here? If you setting you up to go into halftime, tied 14-14 with the number 10 team in the country.
And it's by Monte, and the 2-point conversion is good.
What a nice play
call. Great play call for the Pointers on that 14-14 ball game.
So the timeout definitely proving to be worth it here for the Pointers, and what a fantastic call by head coach Greg Breitbach. And you thought it was going to be Shamaje Williams straight up the gut, as did the Titans defense. But the speedy Christian Almonte came flying from the right side, took the end around all the way to the left pylon and walked in easily. 14-14 game, just 1:40 here, and definitely Oshkosh definitely able to do something with this 1:40. If any team is capable of scoring in that amount of time, it is the Oshkosh Titans. But so far, the defense for the Pointers has proven itself to be up to the task for the most part today. So if you can come up with a stop here or even just hold them to 3 points, once again, I said it a couple times already, but heading into the locker room at halftime, tied 14-14 with the number 10 team in the country, that's got to be a pretty good feeling on senior day.
Yeah, especially how it's been hard at times for the Pointers to get consistency going on offense in this first half between penalties and an interception. But they've really stood up to the task and really gotten better. And as you said, Jake, we're tied at 14 as Victor Ponterio is on for the kickoff.
And the Pointers able to capitalize on a rare mistake by the Titans. Titans not really prone to turning the ball over very much.
And a line drive kick that's returned by the Titans, number 49. That's Tyler Watson, a defensive lineman, tackled by a Pointer.
Yeah, Tyler Watson, the up back. And I know those guys, exciting. It's exciting every time they have the ball in their hands, every time they get an opportunity to return a little squib like that. So big opportunity here for the Pointers defense as 5 seconds ticked off the clock on that kickoff. 1:35 to hold the Titans to no points.
1st and 10 at their own 33. Radovich in the gun. Looks to be Pierenboom, the running back behind him, and it's a handoff to Pierenboom, and he runs ahead. He gets more. He's loose. He's got the first down, still running, and he's taken down by Omari Johnson. So Titans getting the first down. Not what you wanted on that first play if you're the Pointers defense.
Definitely not what you wanted at all. I thought that they might take a few shots downfield, but instead they hand it off, and result is the same.
Radovich takes a snap, rolls out, looking, throws down the sidelines for Tortorello, incomplete. Great job by the Pointers, number 21, O.J. James. Great job of high-pointing that ball and knocking it down. Exactly what you want to do.
Yeah, great athletic play there. Great coverage by O.J. James. It was a really nice throw, but O.J. James, the once, possibly even more, but I know at least once, Defensive Player of the Week in the WIAC Conference.
Radovich taking the snap, hands off to Pierenboom once again, and he's taken down. First man contact, the senior linebacker Ryan Strick. Great job tripping up Pierenboom on that play. Brings up 3rd and 6 now.
Yeah, Pierenboom was dashing and diving, weaving his way through the defensive line there, and Really nice play to make the
Oshkosh
tackle.
taking a timeout. Their last timeout that they have. We'll keep it right here. How important is this third down for How important is this third down for both teams, Jake?
Well, the last time we were in this situation, Ben, we said this is the most important play of the game for the Pointers defense, and indeed at the time it was. And they came up with a big-time interception, Omari Johnson did. And we're right back in the same situation. Right now, this is the biggest play of the game for the Pointers defense. Probably the biggest play of the game for the Titans offense as well. But the Pointers defense with a chance to maybe not get off the field here as you would expect the Titans to go for it on fourth down, but a opportunity to put the pressure on the Titans and force them into that fourth down situation. Not a give me as the 3rd and 6 is the yardage that the Titans are going to be looking for on this play here. If you can stop them, though, you're going to have all the momentum, and it's going to get this crowd cheering, that's for sure.
So Radovich in the gun, 2 receivers at the top of the screen. Drops back to pass, rolls to his right, looking, throws, and he's sacked. Great play by the Pointers once again. Boyd Delabrew, the senior, with a sack on senior day, brings up 4th and 12 for the Titans.
Yeah, 2 great plays there in a row by Delabrew, and he was the only Pointer in the backfield able to wrap up Radovich and bring him down, and that is exactly what you want to do if you're the Pointers offense. Pointers defense. Pointers defense looking really good in big moment situations here, Ben.
Yeah, they are. You talked about, you said at the earlier start of this drive, Omari Johnson with the interception, Boyd Delabrew having at least 1, maybe 1.5 sacks on the day. Ryan Strick with a nice tackle, tripping up the Oshkosh running back. And the Titans using their last time out of the half. We'll keep it right here. 6 seconds left here in the first half. 4th and 12 at their own 46-yard line. If you're Oshkosh, do you go for it? You take a shot down the field?
Well, yeah, there's only 6 seconds remaining, and I think that's probably why they called that timeout here. I believe Coach Pat Cerrone probably called his team over and is drawing up some sort of play. You can expect the 3-man rush probably, and everybody to drop back in coverage for the Pointers, which is going to give Radovich a lot of time, and we're going to get to see what kind of arm this kid has.
Yeah, he showed it off before in the first half. Well, he's had 2 touchdowns so far on the day, both of them to Riley Callis. Callis is one in the...
So I guess we're both wrong.
Oh, they are punting.
And
so a little strange with only 6 seconds left here in the first half.
A little disappointing, as I wanted to see if Radovich could have got it to the end zone. He would have needed 54 yards on the throw.
As there's no man deep to return for the Pointers.
No opportunity to return. Oh, I guess there would have been. I thought that ball was going to sail out of bounds.
And the clock runs out on the first half anyway. Both teams are going into halftime. We're going to take our halftime break as well. 14-14 tie here at Gerke Park between Stevens Point and Oshkosh. We'll be back with our halftime show after this.
College has given me the flexibility to pursue my passions and my interests, and I've recreated my identity for myself aside from just being an athlete.
My greatest personal discovery has been that I am capable of doing things that I didn't know I was capable of doing.
To be able to study what I wanted to and continue to play the sport I love, all of those things came together very nicely in one package in Division III.
When you're in college, you kind of find out who you are. And throughout your 4 years, you develop yourself with all the different experiences, which leads into dedicating yourself to your community, to your family. So when you're a senior, you're coming out a well-rounded person.
College has given me the flexibility to pursue my passions and my interests outside of the classroom and outside of the court or field. I've had the ability to get into different activities and organizations, and I've recreated my identity for myself aside from just being an athlete.
Getting to be involved in a lot of different things ranging from obviously being a student athlete to getting involved with my campus and my community, and not only being allowed to do that, but being encouraged to do that.
The opportunity to be able to study what I wanted to and continue to play the sport I love, to have the professors know me on a personal level, all of those things came together very nicely in one package in Division III.
Being a part of the different activities and organizations that I've been a part of, I'm actually able to see myself where I'm like, hey, I actually can make a change. I'm one person that can make a difference. It really helps you develop thinking from other people's perspectives and looking at problems from outside the box.
Division III has helped me to develop teamwork skills, critical thinking skills, time management skills.
I've definitely learned how to really be myself. I found out, yes, I am actually a good leader, and yes, I can actually put myself forward because I am good enough. I can do it.
Coming in to college, I just wanted to get good grades and to do well. But it also made me realize that I have a lot of different career goals, and I've learned so much about myself that I was always like growing and changing.
When I got to college, it forced me to step up and become more of a leader, and I think that was something I had the capability of doing, and forever grateful that being at a Division III school gave me that opportunity.
You have to dedicate your time in the classroom, you have to dedicate your time in the gym, on the field, on the court.
Our coaches and the entirety of the athletic department, they valued the student athlete going out into community and trying something new and getting involved in campus life.
You can get involved in so many different things. So the possibilities are truly limitless for what you can do with your college experience. You can kind of make it your own in the Division III setting. So I would encourage people who want to have flexibility to pursue different interests and passions to go D3.
The Media Studies is a program for people who love to tell stories, whether that be in written form, visual, or audio.
Media Studies is exciting because it's always fresh, it's always new.
Media is at the center of everything we do. More and more people are asked to engage with media and use media. Our program really provides students with skills and techniques to be better prepared for that in the future.
We offer courses in media production, both video and audio, nonfiction and fiction, music production, journalism, film studies.
Media Studies is a great way to get hands-on experience in the field that you're looking to do. They teach you the basic concept behind everything, and then they tell you to go do it.
We really pride ourselves on thinking of a wide set of opportunities that we can give our students.
The student organizations are a great asset. We have SPTV, the student television organization, 90 FM, the radio, and The Pointer, our student-run newspaper.
It's a great way for students to get involved, learn skills that they need for class, and meet new people.
Some great facilities where our students can hone their skills.
There's a giant studio in the center of the comm building. I've had quite a few classes in there.
A lot of our classes are very hands-on, they're very interpersonal.
You're getting the skills that will allow you to create your future, and I think that's what makes it a truly amazing experience for students.
There's an incredible range of options for graduates. We've had students go out and become independent contractors, work for radio stations, newspapers, with TV stations.
Everyone is different, and they have their own unique style. In all the classes and all the student organizations you get involved in, you have a lot of flexibility to really create your own work and do it in a way that means something to you.
We're excited to see what students are making and what they want to make, and how we can help students get from where they are to where they want to be.
I'm in a video production class that's teaching me how to film documentaries. I'm also in a screenwriting class, and I get to learn how to write movies. So I'm doing all these different cool things, and I love it every day.
This UWSP Sports broadcast is brought to you by SPTV. Let's make media together.
You can't go and work for a software company that's quite like this.
With programming, you see this concept become a reality. And I think that's really rewarding.
When people first come in, they immediately realize they are a part of a family.
They really care that people are happy here.
You're going to find that you're going to get up in the morning and you're going to look forward to coming to work. We've got a core of individuals that are going to reach a lot of new heights.
We're growing fast and always hiring. Apply today at skyward.com/careers.
Don't have a television? Don't worry. SPTV is available on demand at uwsp.edu/SPTV. Find your favorite shows on our website, plus links to all of our YouTube content. Stay up to date with SPTV news that includes information about campus and community happenings. And don't forget to like us on Facebook. We're SPTV-UWSP Television. SPTV. Let's make media together.
UW-Stevens Point is home.
It's a university where professors know your name and get you involved in research.
They inspire us to realize big dreams.
At UW-Stevens Point, sustainability is what we stand for.
Our beautiful campus encourages exploration, developing new fields, and problem solving for the real world.
It's a great place to launch your career.
UW-Stevens Point is home.
Apply today at uwsp.edu.
I just wanted to get good grades and to do well. But it also made me realize that I have a lot of career goals.
You're there to get a full college experience, not only participate in your sport, but participate in things outside of that. And it's all about growing as a person.
My coaches have helped me with figuring out who I really am. Their lives are dedicated for us to succeed.
Being a part of the different activities and organizations that I've been a part of, I'm actually able to see myself where I'm like, hey, I actually can make a change. I'm one person that can make a difference.
Division III has helped me to develop teamwork skills, critical thinking skills, time management skills.
It's not just about basketball, or it's not just about school, it's about developing yourself as a person altogether.
College has given me the flexibility to pursue my passions and my interests, and I've recreated my identity for myself aside from just being an athlete.
My greatest personal discovery has been that I am capable of doing things that I didn't know I was capable of doing.
To be able to study what I wanted to and continue to play the sport I love, all of those things came together very nicely in one package in Division III.
When you're in college, you kind of find out who you are. And throughout your 4 years, you develop yourself with all the different experiences, which leads into dedicating yourself to your community, to your family. So when you're a senior, you're coming out a well-rounded person.
College has given me the flexibility to pursue my passions and my interests outside of the classroom and outside of the court or field. I've had the ability to get into different activities and organizations, and I've recreated my identity for myself aside from just being an athlete.
Getting to be involved in a lot of different things, ranging from obviously being a student athlete to getting involved with my campus and my community, and not only being allowed to do that, but being encouraged to do that.
The opportunity to be able to study what I wanted to and continue to play the sport I love, to have the professors know me on a personal level, all of those things came together very nicely in one package in Division III.
Being a part of the different activities and organizations that I've been a part of, I'm actually able to see myself where I'm like, hey, I actually can make a change. I'm one person that can make a difference. It really helps you develop thinking from other people's perspectives and looking at problems from outside the box.
Division III has helped me to develop teamwork skills, critical thinking skills, time management skills.
I've definitely learned how to really be myself. I found out, yes, I am actually a good leader, and yes, I can actually put myself forward because I am good enough. I can do it.
Coming in to college, I just wanted to get good grades and to do well. But it also made me realize that I have a lot of different career goals, and I've learned so much about myself that I was always like growing and changing.
When I got to college, it forced me to step up and become more of a leader, and I think that was something I had the capability of doing, and forever grateful that being at a Division III school gave me that opportunity.
You have to dedicate your time in the classroom, you have to dedicate your time in the gym, on the field, on the court.
Our coaches and the entirety of the athletic department, they valued the student athlete going out into community and trying something new and getting involved in campus life.
You can get involved in so many different things. So the possibilities are truly limitless for what you can do with your college experience. You can kind of make it your own in the Division III setting. So I would encourage people who want to have flexibility to pursue different interests and passions to go D3.
Media Studies is a program for people who love to tell stories, whether that be in written form, visual, or audio.
Media Studies is exciting because it's always fresh, it's always new.
Media is at the center of everything we do. More and more people are asked to engage with media and use media. Our program really provides students with skills and techniques to be better prepared for that in the future.
We offer courses in media production, both video and audio, nonfiction and fiction, music production, journalism, film studies.
Media Studies is a great way to get hands-on experience in the field that you're looking to do. They teach you the basic concept behind everything, and then they tell you to go do it.
We really pride ourselves on thinking of a wide set of opportunities that we can give our students.
The student organizations are a great asset. We have SPTV, the student television organization, 90 FM, the radio, and the Pointer, our student-run newspaper.
It's a great way for students to get involved, learn skills that they need for class, and meet new people.
Some great facilities where our students can hone their skills.
There's a giant studio in the center of the comm building. I've had quite a few classes in there.
A lot of our classes are very hands-on, they're very interpersonal.
You're getting the skills that will allow you to create your future, and I think that's what makes it a truly amazing experience for students.
There's an incredible range of options for graduates. We've had students go out and become independent contractors, work for radio stations, newspapers, with TV stations.
Everyone is different, and they have their own unique style. In all the classes and all the student organizations you get involved in, you have a lot of flexibility to really create your own work and do it in a way that means something to you.
We're excited to see what students are making and what they want to make, and how we can help students get from where they are to where they want to be.
I'm in a video production class that's teaching me how to film documentaries. I'm also in a screenwriting class, and I get to learn how to write movies. So I'm doing all these different cool things, and I love it every day.
This UWSP Sports broadcast is brought to you by SPTV. Let's make media together.
You can't go and work for a software company that's quite like this.
With programming, you see this concept become a reality. And I think that's really rewarding.
When people first come in, they immediately realize they are a part of a family.
They really care that people are happy here.
You're going to find that you're going to get up in the morning and you're going to look forward to coming to work. We've got a core of individuals that are going to reach a lot of new heights.
We're growing fast and always hiring. Apply today at skyward.com/careers.
Don't have a television? Don't worry. SPTV is available on demand at uwsp.edu/SPTV. Find your favorite shows on our website, plus links to all of our YouTube content. Stay up to date with SPTV news that includes information about campus and community happenings. And don't forget to like us on Facebook. We're SPTV-UWSP Television. SPTV. Let's make media together.
UW Stevens Point is home.
It's a university where professors know your name and get you involved in research.
They inspire us to realize big dreams.
At UW-Stevens Point, sustainability is what we stand for.
Our beautiful campus encourages exploration, developing new fields, and problem solving for the real world.
It's a great place to launch your career.
UW-Stevens Point is home.
Apply today at uwsp.edu.
I just wanted to get good grades and to do well. But it also made me realize that I have a lot of career goals.
You're there to get a full college experience, not only participate in your sport, but participate in things outside of that, and it's all about growing as a person.
My coaches have helped me with figuring out who I really am. Their lives are dedicated for us to succeed.
Being a part of the different activities and organizations that I've been a part of, I'm actually able to see myself where I'm like, hey, I actually can make a change. I'm one person that can make a difference.
Division III has helped me to develop teamwork skills, critical thinking skills, time management skills.
It's not just about basketball, or it's not just about school, it's about developing yourself as a person altogether.
Halftime show here on SBTV. This broadcast of Senior Day for the Pointers against UW-Oshkosh. I'm Ben Zatuni. He's Jake Senholz. Jake, 14-14 tie here at halftime. Break it down for the folks at home, the first half.
Yeah, Ben, I don't want to say it was completely unexpected, but hey, it was a little bit unexpected that we're at a 14-14 tie here. Again, we've mentioned it throughout the game, but this Oshkosh Titans team ranked number 10 in the country, so pretty big accomplishment that the Pointers are tied 14-14. One thing that jumps out at me is, we mentioned it in the pregame show, one of the keys to winning for the Pointers here was containing that very high-powered Oshkosh rushing attack, and so far they have. Oshkosh finding some success on the ground for a total of 92 yards, but hey, compared to what we might have been expecting, or what Oshkosh has been able to do previously to other teams this season, 92 yards in the first half, not bad at all. And then going beyond that, the passing attack looking very similar for both teams. Both teams have hit on a couple big throws. Both teams have been intercepted. And listen to these numbers. Listen to these stats here. For Oshkosh, Kyle Radovich is 10 for 15 with an interception, 105 yards, and his longest throw is 34 yards. Max Harrell is 10 for 13 and an interception for 110 yards, and his long is also 34 yards. So almost identical stat lines for these two quarterbacks today.
Yeah, and real quick, Oshkosh is going to receive the second half kickoff. How important is it for Oshkosh to score, and how important is it for the Pointers to not let them score? Real quick for the folks at home.
Well, I think the first possession of the second half, much like the first possession of the game, it can set the tone for the entire half. So obviously both teams going to want to come out and look for some success. I think it is maybe more important for the Pointers defense to come up with a stop than it is for the Oshkosh offense to come up with a score, because Oshkosh pretty good at generating points pretty easily and doing what they want on the field. So again, this first possession, we're about to get back to gameplay here. First possession going to be huge for the Pointers defense. Overall, though, a really, really entertaining first half and a much better game than we were expecting here.
Yeah, and the second half should be a real treat. I'm Ben Zatuni. He's Jake Senholz. We'll be back with the second half kickoff after this quick commercial break.
UW-Stevens Point is home.
It's a university where professors know your name and get you involved in research.
They inspire us to realize big dreams.
At UW-Stevens Point, sustainability is what we stand for.
Our beautiful campus encourages exploration, developing new fields, and problem solving for the real world.
It's a great place to launch your career.
UW-Stevens Point is home.
Apply today at uwsp.edu.
And welcome back to the game, folks, as Victor Ponterio starts the second half off with a kick, and that'll be returned by Tortorella at about the 12 across the 20. Upended. Great tackle.
Ooh, what a hit there.
Great hit.
That was number 45, Sim Nelson, the linebacker out of Green Bay, Wisconsin.
So great tackle by Nelson, and that's where Oshkosh is going to start their second half drive. 1st and 10 at the 24.
So, again, Ben, we kind of touched on it during the halftime show. This first possession of the second half, huge for both sides, the Pointers defense and the Titans offense. However, maybe a little bit more important for this Pointers defense, especially after that nice stop on the kick return.
So Radovich in the gun, handoff to Pierenboom, gets almost nowhere, and he's taken to the ground aggressively with number 27, Julian Givens. Great tackle by Givens.
And I don't know if you noticed that there, Ben, but the exchange between Pierenboom and Radovich looked pretty rough. Looked like Pierenboom almost dropped the ball. It looked like it was a read option play to me, and Radovich was trying to pull the ball out, but Pierenboom was already committed to taking it and almost caused a fumble there.
So it brings up 2nd and 7 at their own 27-yard line for Oshkosh. Radovich in the gun. Tortorello in motion now. And it's a handoff to Pierenboom. Tries to bounce it outside. Nothing there. Great tackle. First man of contact for the Pointers, number 96. That's Zach Angle, the sophomore defensive lineman. First man to get some contact with Pierenboom.
And O.J. James in on that tackle as well. 2 rushing plays from this Titans offense, and so far 2 very nice stops by the Pointers defense.
So 3rd and 8 now. Radovich in the gun. Takes the snap. Drops back to pass. Flag on the play.
False
start on Oshkosh.
And the Pointers will take that all day long. It's going to be a 3rd and 13 now as the referee makes the call, and it is indeed a false start on the offense. So 3rd and 13, ball on the 21 for the Oshkosh Titans.
So as Jake said, brings up a 3rd and 13 for Oshkosh, deep in their own territory.
And these are the plays that you got to have as a Pointers defense. You can't allow them to convert, as number 91 almost just jumped off sides.
Radovich takes the snap, throws downfield for Callis. Intercepted! Is that Omari Johnson again? It is! Going the other way with the football is Omari Johnson. What an interception. Callis went up for the pass, and I wasn't sure if he was able to haul it in or it was intercepted. Either way, it was going to be a great play. One heck of an interception for Omari Johnson, 2nd of the day.
And I don't think anybody in the entire stadium knew what was going on for a second there, but Omari Johnson just went up and got it, and that's his 2nd interception of the game, definitely making a case for the defensive player of the week in the WIAC. And just a fantastic play overall by Omari Johnson, and he once again sets up his offense inside the 30-yard line, and a chance for the Pointers to take a lead here early in the second half against the number 10 ranked Oshkosh Titans.
And 1st and 10 at the Titans' 28-yard line. Harrow, the quarterback, in the gun. Bosick, the running back, next to him.
Oh, the
back to the end zone goes Harrow for Almonte. Oh! Almonte had the touchdown right in his hands, and he dropped it right in the bread basket.
Man, that got me excited. A little bit of excitement coming out there, but my bad. But hey, that was a fun play to watch. I thought it was just going to be a Zach Bosick run up the middle, and then I got nervous because it looked like Harrow's pass was going to be intercepted, but he did a nice little teardrop, a little Aaron Rodgers-like there, and it hit Almonte in the hands. He just couldn't bring it in. And
it's a handoff
Bosick.
to Bosick, who gets maybe 2 yards.
So, again, unable to bring it in was Christian Almonte, but I like the aggression by Coach Greg Breitbach, and if you're going to pull out a flea flicker in any situation, that's the exact one you want. It was still great defense, though, by the Pointers. On the coverage on that last play was number 38. That is Kylan Bear.
So 3rd and 8, Harrow in the gun, jumps back to pass, goes towards the end zone for Harrow, incomplete, overthrown and incomplete, brings up 4th down.
Yeah, and that's where when you try a play like a flea flicker and it doesn't work, it doesn't necessarily take the air out of the offense, but it does set you up on the 2nd and 3rd to it forces you to maybe make some other play or try and force the ball downfield and make some plays that you maybe otherwise wouldn't in different areas of the field. So now the Pointers choosing to just settle for a field goal attempt.
As Pontario is on to attempt the kick.
And Neubauer the holder, and that's going to be offsides. That's going to be offsides by on number 38 of the Titans. False start? Okay. So I saw the offsides, but I'm not sure who jumped initially on the Pointers line. Number 46, that's the running back, Jack Miller. Excuse me. That is the linebacker,
Tyler
Ranella, who for some reason, it's a kick team. That's why. That's why I was confused there briefly. I was wondering why he was on the offensive line, but it is special teams out there. It backs the Pointers up 5 yards, makes it an even tougher field goal for Victor Pontario. Neubauer holding. Or excuse me, that's Matt Ermansky holding.
As Pontario waits for the snap. Snap is down, kick is up, and it is good. It's good. Great kick by Victor Pontario. 17-14 Pointers. They have their first lead of the day.
And the whole place goes wild. Nobody more excited, though, than the kicker himself, Victor Pontario, as he nails that one right down the center.
All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back after this. And we're back live at Gerke Park with this SPTV presentation of Senior Day. The Pointers taking on the Titans from UW-Oshkosh. Victor Pontario just giving the Pointers their first lead of the day with the field goal. Pointers up 17-14. 12-17 left here in the third quarter.
And Pontario still getting congratulations from his teammates there as the Pointers line up for the kickoff.
As Pontario kicks the ball away, and that's going to be returned by Tortorello inside the 10, across the 10 to the 15 to the 20, the 25 to 30, and he's taken down. Great tackle by number 32, Elijah Hickman.
Markel Outlaw also in helping on the tackle. So, going to be interesting to see what the play calls and what the plan is here on offense for the Oshkosh Titans, as the last possession turned into the second Omari Johnson interception of the day. Let's see if Oshkosh decides to take another deep shot or if they're going to go back to what they know best, which is the run game.
And a handoff to Pierenboom as he bursts ahead, runs over a couple Pointers, gets maybe a 5-yard carry on that.
And fun to watch Pierenboom run. He kind of just picks the open area and then is patient and finds his way through, picks another open area, He runs left to right quite a bit and back right to left. Not exactly horizontal, but not vertical either.
And it's a Radovich pass to the outside. That's number 1, Mitchell Garand, and he gets across the 45, so more than enough for the first down, moving the chains for Oshkosh.
And so far on this drive, Oshkosh showing they're going to try and get back to what they do best, which is, again, that quick strike and up-tempo offense. That's where they've been having success on this Pointers defense throughout the day. So not surprised to see they're going back to it now.
Radovich in the gun, waiting for the snap. And it's a handoff to Pierenboom once again. And gets maybe 2 yards on that carry. Great job by the Pointers defensive line, not letting them get to the second level.
Indeed. Indeed, that always helps
Brings
when
up
you can.
2nd and 7 now.
When you have the ability to make tackles after first contact, especially on a runner like Pierenboom.
And it's a handoff to Pierenboom on the outside. Nice run by Pierenboom, just short of the first down.
So that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 3. And Max Nowinski comes into the game. Again, Max Nowinski, a fantastic runner. He's a power runner. But most of his game is straight up the gut. And so far today, the Pointers have been pretty good on the run defense right up the gut.
3rd and 3 at the Pointers' 47-yard line.
And a full shift.
And it's a pitch on Tortorello, who comes across, and he's short of the first down. He's at least a yard short of the first down.
And Oshkosh is trying to cause some confusion there. They started with 3 men in the backfield and then shifted to just a single back set and then sent a man in motion. And that was, you could see Radovich asking his coach. He's wanting to go for it. It was kind of arguing with his coach from the middle of the field, but ultimately gives into his coach's decision and jogs off the field as the punt team comes on for Oshkosh.
And deep back to return for the Pointers. That's number 21, O.J. James. So we'll see what he can do on this punt return. As the punt is away, a high kick. And it bounces at about the 17, and then it gets down at about the 20 as it bounced back forward. So that's where the Pointers are going to start their drive. We're going to keep it right here.
And that was a rugby style, not a drop kick, which we just saw in the NFL for the first time not that long ago, but that was a rugby style kick where the ball gets held straight up and down and you drop it down and you kick the point of the ball basically, so it's more of an end over end kick than a spiral. That was number 9, Turner Geisthart, with that kick, and just interesting to see that sort of form coming from the punter.
It is. So 1st and 20 for the Pointers. Shamaje Williams in the game at running back now. And a false start. Looks to be one of those calls where the whole offensive line moved.
The whole offensive line moved except for the center, who was still holding on to the ball. Sometimes you even get the center, and he snaps the ball when the quarterback's not expecting it. But. So that's the 3rd or 4th false start penalty on the Pointers so far this game, Ben.
Williams comes out of the game now, and there's no running back in the game. So all either wide receivers or tight ends out. 2 at the top of the screen, 3 at the bottom. Almonte's at the bottom of the screen. Steve Harrow's at the top. Harrow in the gun by himself. 1st and 15.
It's often a quarterback keeper out of this look, especially with Harrow in the backfield.
And you're right, Jake. It is a quarterback keeper as Harrow goes up the middle, and he gets nowhere. A loss of yards on the play. One of the first people there for the Titans, number 39, Tyler Starkle, freshman linebacker from Kimberly, Wisconsin.
Yeah, at this point, that's just kind of predictable from Max Harrow. I've mentioned it a couple times. Harrow doesn't really go through his progressions, doesn't take much time reading in past the first or second progression. So whenever the Pointers split 5 men out wide, there's a 50-50 shot that he's going to keep the ball.
So Williams back into the game at running back. Harrow in the gun. Takes the snap, rolls to his right, drops back, looking, and it's incomplete. Immediate pressure from the Titans. That's number 8, Scott Skornicka, the senior linebacker from Two Rivers. And Harrow had no choice but to throw it incomplete.
Yeah, it was thrown in the direction of Christian Almonte, but really it was just kind of getting rid of it on that one. As into the game now comes senior wide receiver Zach D'Amico. And D'Amico, of course, one of the seniors that was honored before today's game, as today is senior day. See if the ball possibly is thrown in his direction. 5 men split out again.
Harrow in the gun. Takes the snap, drops back to pass, scrambles up in the pocket, hit and taken down. Number 91 for the Titans. That's Brandon Colgan, freshman defensive lineman, with the sack.
Yeah, and Max Harrow frustrated.
Excuse me, they're saying 96 Devin Wilson with the sack. So Wilson and Colgan in on that tackle.
Definitely a disappointing offensive series if you're the Pointers. And again, yeah, Harrow showing his frustration and ripping the snaps off of his helmet as he makes his way back to the sidelines and now having a conversation with teammate and fellow quarterback Matt Ermansky.
As Bleasy gets the punt away, and it's going to be returned by Tortorella at about the 47. He's got room to run across the 40, the 35, the 30, the 20. He's down the sidelines, and he's tackled by the punter, Sam Bleasy. Great tackle by Bleasy. If he wasn't there, Tortorella probably would have taken that for a touchdown.
Yeah, great tackle by Bleasy. Unfortunately, not a great punt. I hate to keep harkening on the punts as we do almost every single week, but that one just a rocket down the field. It had some decent distance, but it had absolutely no hang time. Bleasy not allowing his cover team to get down the field at all. So in pretty easy, about 35, 40-yard return there for Oshkosh. As Nowinski enters the game again, accompanied in the backfield by the big tight end, Justin Kabowski.
So Radovich in the gun, as he's been all game. And it's a handoff to Nowinski. Bounces it outside. Just gets past the 15-yard line. Stays in bounds. Clock keeps moving. Nice run by Nowinski.
Yep, nice little patient run out to the left. And that's the type of run where you just kind of get what you can, and that's exactly what Max did there.
So it brings up 2nd and 10 now.
A tough spot for the Pointers defense right now. Let's see what they're made of.
Nowinski is still in at running back. 2 receivers at the top of the screen. And it's a handoff to Nowinski as he runs ahead. Gets maybe 2 to 3 yards on that play. Not really going anywhere.
So a couple short runs by Max Nowinski on 1st and 2nd down, and that's going to bring up 3rd and 6 for this Titans offense. And knowing the Titans, especially being down by 3 points right now, they're probably going to try and go to the end zone. They can pick up a first down. They have to get the ball to the 5-yard line in order to do that. But don't be surprised if the Titans go to the end zone here.
So 3rd and 6, as Jake said. Radovich in the gun. Nowinski next to him. Takes the snap, drops back to pass, looking. Flushed out of the pocket, still running. And he's going to keep it himself. And he looks to be about maybe a yard short of the first down.
Yeah, not enough for the first down on the scramble by Radovich, but indeed the Titans were looking to the end zone that entire play. And I mentioned it earlier, they're down by 3. And this position earlier in the first half, in the first half, they probably would have went for this. So being down by 3, they're going to send the kick team out. And doing the kicking is Peyton Peterson this time.
And it is...
He's going to miss that one.
Oh, good! Huge swing for the Pointers as they keep their 3-point lead, 17-14. 5:50 left here in the third quarter.
So that is the 2nd missed field goal for the Titans on this game. And we said it earlier, Ben, you don't necessarily have to keep the Titans from getting into the red zone. You just have to keep them from getting into the end zone. Field goal tries are perfectly acceptable if you're the Pointers defense today. And so far, the Titans 0 for 2 on them. And it'll be really interesting now to see in the future if they end up in that position again, whether they go for it or decide to put faith in the kickers again, which we mentioned it earlier as well. This Titans team carries 3 different kickers, and so far 2 out of the 3 have missed a field goal today.
So 1st and 10. Williams, the ball carrier, with the run, tries to bounce it outside. Gets maybe a yard or 2 on that play.
So Samaje Williams back in the game. You just got to wonder if something is kind of slightly wrong with Zach Bosick. Maybe he has a little tweak or a tiny bit of a nagging injury. Not quite sure.
As Harrow's in the gun.
You've got Jante Webb, Christian Almonte, and Steve Harrow are your 3 men lined up on the near side. Split out wide on the near side.
Takes a snap, and it's outside to Almonte, who looks to have gotten enough for the first down.
And I'll tell you what, Ben, if you had Christian Almonte in a PPR fantasy league, he would be having a heck of a day today. He had, in the first half alone, he had 5 catches, and just adding on to that now. So
brings up 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line. Harrow in the gun. Takes a snap, low snap, handoff to Williams, tries to bounce it outside, back inside, runs over a couple defenders, and once again, 1st down.
And what makes Samaje Williams different as a runner is just he runs with so much confidence. He runs with speed and power, but you never see him hesitating even when he is making jump cuts and trying to decide what to do. He never stops moving forward.
Once again, another carry to Williams. Tries to bounce free. Still going, still carrying. It's maybe a 3-yard carry out of nothing. He was really carrying that pile.
Yeah, out of absolutely nothing. There was two different instances where he should have been wrapped up behind the line, and then once he finally was wrapped up, it took 4 or 5 big Titan defenders to finally take him down. So Samaje Williams comes out of the game. Jahai Stegall comes into the game, and Stegall is going to split out wide on the far side. So it looks like the Pointers are going to go with an empty set backfield.
Harrow in the gun, 2nd and 8 now from their own 47. Now motions Stegall to come back to him. Harrow drops back to pass, looking, still looking. Here comes pressure. Eludes a defender. He's got room to run. He gets the 1st down, and he gets out of bounds. Great job by Harrow. Dropped back to pass, and a Titans defensive back came rushing in off the outside to his blind spot. So Harrow, great job by Harrow spinning out of that and getting the 1st down.
And that was probably the best play of the day by freshman quarterback Max Harrow. Not only did he stand in the pocket and make multiple reads, but he knew that that pressure was eventually going to come, and once it did come, he didn't hesitate. He was able to get out of the way and picked up a 1st down. That was Nick Boyd, the linebacker, who was rushing in, 6'3", 215. Definitely a scary sight coming at you if you're Max Harrow, but a great job.
1st and 10 at the Oshkosh 42. Harrow dropped back to pass, and it's incomplete. Off the fingertips of Jahai Stegall, and there's a flag on the other side of the field.
I think they might get number 9 on the defense, which is that same player we just talked about, Nick Boyd.
And you always got to hold your breath when a pass goes off the fingertips of a wide receiver because it's so easy for it to be intercepted.
And I was wrong. It is a hold on the Pointers offense, and what's new? I think that play has been called. Seems like that play has been called every other play today. Or excuse me, that penalty has been called every other play today. But you're right, Ben. That is one of the most dangerous and most nerve-wracking plays in football when the ball bounces up in the air, especially when it's behind the wide receiver, because then he pretty much has no ability to try and play defense on the ball because he's going the other way.
So it brings up, after the penalty, brings up 1st and 20 at their own 48-yard line for the Pointers. Harrow alone in the gun by himself. Now Stegall in motion now. And Harrell keeps it himself. Up the middle he runs. And not quite back to the original line of scrimmage.
And there to meet him was Scott Ciconia, the 5'10", 220 senior out of Two Rivers, Wisconsin. He was right there to wrap him up and take him down. The Titans have some size on this defense, that's for sure. Jonte Webb and Steve Hara, somebody to watch right now.
Stegall splitting out now. Harrell drops back to pass. Keeps it himself. Oh, what a catch by Jahai Stegall. Wow. The ball and was flushed out of the pocket, threw it to Stegall off his fingertips, and he was able to pin it to his helmet a la David Tyree Super Bowl catch, and was able to get something out of nothing on that.
Yeah, he was falling backwards. He pinned it between his helmet and his shoulder as he was falling backwards, but was able to kind of keep his shoulder up and off the ground as to not let the ball touch the ground. Ends up completing it one-handed. That was fantastic. Jahai Stegall, definitely a playmaker.
So 3rd and 10 now. Harrow in the gun. Drops back to pass. Looking, still looking. Throws down the field for Almonte. Oh, what a catch by Christian Almonte. And he got his feet in bounds. 1st and goal for the Pointers. What a throw, what a catch.
Yeah, a great catch for sure, but I gotta put more praise on that one to Max Harrell as he just dropped it right over the defender. I think that was number 7, AJ Plua, who was in coverage for the Titans. And he's much taller than Christian Almonte, which makes it even more of a key to have a perfect pass in there, which indeed it was. Great play from Harrow to Almonte. Now Almonte is uncovered, split out wide. Now he's covered.
So 1st and goal at the 8. Just a little over a minute left in the 3rd quarter. And it's a low snap, and it's taken by Shamaj Williams after the handoff. Hard to tell what he gets. That really could have been a blown-up play with how low that snap was.
Yeah, low snap.
2-yard carry brings up 2nd and goal from the 6.
Able to gather 2 yards, as you mentioned, Ben, but that could have been dangerous as there was a Titan defender in the backfield almost immediately who had the potential to blow that play up.
So Harrow in the gun. Williams next to him. And Oshkosh takes a timeout. We're going to take a quick timeout as well. We'll be back after this.
I just wanted to get good grades and to do well. But it also made me realize that I have a lot of career goals.
You're there to get a full college experience, not only participate in your sport, but participate in things outside of that. And it's all about growing as a person.
My coaches have helped me with figuring out who I really am. Their lives are dedicated for us to succeed.
And welcome back to the game, folks. I'm Ben Zatuni. Alongside me is Jake Senholz. We're live from Gerke Park here in Stevens Point. Pointers football against UW-Oshkosh. Pointers Titans, senior day for the Pointers. They're up over the Titans 17-14. 35 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. 2nd and goal from the Titans 6-yard line. And the Pointers are driving. It'd be huge for them to get a touchdown on this drive.
Oh, I think huge is an understatement. A touchdown on this drive would put them up by 10 points. Of course, that's 2 scores, and we all know about the troubles the troubles in the kicking game for the Titans so far.
So now Almonte splits out wide, and Williams keeps it himself. He's still running, gets inside the 5 now to maybe about the 3. It's going to bring up 3rd and goal.
So 3rd and goal here as the clock winds down, and we probably won't get a play before the end of the 3rd quarter. And no, I don't think that we're going to, as only 8 seconds remain, and the Pointers offense now just jogging off the field. So we're going to go to the 4th quarter. The Pointers up by 3 points and knocking on the door of the end zone. this is quite an exciting position to be in right now if you're Stevens Point.
Yeah, it is. You have the 3-point lead. Like you said, 17-14. The Pointers are up over the Titans. And going into this game, we talked in the pregame show about how hard it was going to be to stop the Titans' potent offense, them being ranked 10th in the country for obvious reasons. The Pointers' defense has struggled at times, but really they've done a great job of stopping the Titans' offense and really limiting Kyle Radovich's ability at quarterback.
Yeah, and they have been making the most out of the turnovers, too. Again, 2 big interceptions today by Amari Johnson. He came up with the 2 big interceptions today, but other than those, Oshkosh pretty good at protecting the ball, especially in the run game. So it's important that the Pointers make the most out of every opportunity, which they've done today. And that's not something that they have often been able to do throughout the rest of the season. So not everything going their way, of course. Penalties have been a huge issue in this game so far, but the Pointers are overcoming those things. And if they can put one in the end zone here, it's going to change the dynamic of this game for sure.
It is. Like you said before, it being huge for the Pointers to get a touchdown on this would be an understatement, as Harrow's under center for the first time today, and it's a pitch outside to Jahai Stegall, and he's met and taken down. So just because maybe just does get back to the line of scrimmage as Victor Ponterio trots onto the field to attempt a field goal, make this a 6-point ball game.
So interesting, on 3rd down and 6, Coach Breitbach decides to put his young quarterback under center. And the play pretty much goes nowhere. However, Ponterio, who just nailed that 45-yarder earlier, it may have even been longer than 45 yards.
And the kick is good. It's good. So 20-14 Pointers up over the 10th-ranked Titans. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be back with the 4th quarter action after this.
Being a part of the different activities and organizations that I've been a part of, I'm actually able to see myself where I'm like, hey, I actually can make a change. I'm one person that can make a difference.
Division III has helped me to develop teamwork skills, critical thinking skills, time management skills.
It's not just about basketball, or it's not just about school. It's about developing yourself as a person altogether.
And welcome back to the broadcast here, folks. UWSP taking on Oshkosh. Pointers up over the Titans, 20-14. Victor Ponterio hitting another field goal. He's the one who gave the Pointers their 17-14 lead in the 3rd quarter, hitting a 48-yard field goal, the longest of the season and also the longest of his career, with him being a freshman. And really the Pointers have really come out in the second half and done what we talked about in order to get the lead, with the score being 14-14 at halftime.
Yeah, they really did. They really have, and they're playing solid football overall. Again, you can shape up some things like penalties and such, but good football being played by both sides.
And that's returned by Tortorello at the 10, across the 20, across the 30. He's up the sidelines. That should be a holding. There's going to be a holding call. That return's coming back. And there's an... And Markall Outlaw with a hit on Tortorello. Tortorello taking exception to that, but there is an obvious holding by the Titans return team on that. And that return's coming back. You could see it up here in the booth.
And Tortorello with some really nice returns today. And again, the last one on the punt return was aided by the fact there was no hang time on that punt, but this time he just takes the ball and streaks up the sidelines. He was aided a bit by the holding call, but still a really nice game so far for the return man, the Oshkosh return man. Dom Tortorello. Long return up until, that would have been the long return on the day. It was 26 yards up until that, but again, that return negated by a holding call. So the Oshkosh Titans, who have been stifled on offense the past couple drives, are going to start now with the ball on their own 27.
So 1st and 10, Radovich in the gun. Pierenboom next to him. Drops back to pass, looking, throws in. It's complete to Callis along the sidelines. And he does get enough for the first down, so that moves the chains.
So much like the Pointers like that quick toss out to Christian Almonte in the flats, the Titans like the quick toss out to Riley Callis in the flats.
Radovich takes a shot and intercepted by Sam Shaffer. He's going the other way for 6. Touchdown, Pointers! What a play by Sam Shaffer!
What a play by Sam Shaffer. Indeed, that ball was intended for the tight end, number 85.
And the fans and players here are going crazy at Gerke Park. The Pointers now up 26-14. Jake, go ahead, talk about that play.
They should be going crazy. This is exciting football and good football being played right now by this Pointers team. And again, that pass was intended for the tight end, Tommy Nonig, but Sam Shaffer just read it all the way. He had probably 2 steps on Nonig, and no question about it, he took that ball to the house, and the Pointers now put the extra point up and find themselves
27-14 over the 10th ranked team in the country, UW-Oshkosh. What a play by Sam Shaffer.
Exactly. Shaffer read that the whole time. He's being hugged by every one of his teammates along the sideline right now, and deservedly so. These Pointers defensive backs coming up, well, Shaffer is a safety. Either way, the Pointers defense coming up with some timely interceptions, turnovers, and again, Ben, as I mentioned earlier, the Pointers are making the most out of every turnover today. A pick 6 is always nice, but so far 3 interceptions, and I believe 17 points coming from off those 3 interceptions.
Yeah, and you gotta convert those opportunities that are given to you, and Sam Shaffer did that on that play, making it a 7-point ball game. The Pointers up over the Titans 27-14.
And I bet
just a little over 13.5 minutes left here in the ball game.
I bet you anybody around the state right now, or other people who are calling games, much like you and I are, probably looking at the score right now and are a little bit shocked to see that the Pointers are leading 27-14. But hey, any given Saturday, any given Sunday in the game of football.
It is, and by no means is this game over.
Oh, absolutely
like I just
not.
said, there's just a little over 13.5 minutes in this game, and you still have to watch out for that Oshkosh offense. As you know, in football, it only takes one play to swing the momentum back in your side. So the Pointers still are going to have to hone in on their fundamentals, play fundamentally sound on defense, and not make any mistakes, penalties included. As the kick is up in the air, return, not returned, but it is. And it goes out the back of the end zone. So Oshkosh will start at the 25-yard line. We'll take a quick commercial break. We'll be back with the Titans drive after this.
College has given me the flexibility to pursue my passions and my interests, and I've recreated my identity for myself aside from just being an athlete.
My greatest personal discovery has been that I am capable of doing things that I didn't know I was capable of doing.
To be able to study what I wanted to and continue to play the sport I love, all of those things came together very nicely in one package in Division III.
Back, folks. 1st and 10 for the Titans at their own 25. Radovich drops back to pass, throws down the field for Garand. Oh, what a catch by Garand. Jake, like we just said, in football, all it takes is one play, and Oshkosh really covers a great chunk of yardage. Great chunk of yardage on that play. What a catch by Mitchell Garand.
Yeah, that was a huge chunk play, and a bit of a deflating play for the Pointers defense, but hey, you got to put it behind you.
As Radovich drops back again, looking, throws towards the end zone. Oh, down the field and off the fingertips of Garand.
And it's a good thing that ball was out of reach for Garand, because that would have been 2 plays covering about 70 yards there. And all of a sudden, Oshkosh would have been knocking on the door inside the red zone. But instead, it's 2nd down, 10 to go, ball on their own 37. Pointers D just needs to take a deep breath here and keep playing the way they played all game.
And Radovic keeps it himself, and it's a pass to the outside to Callis. Gets around a blocker, and he looks to have enough for the first down. So that's going to move the chains for Oshkosh.
So Oshkosh quickly moving all the way down the field, just dominating on this drive as Radovic now directing traffic, lined up in the gun.
Drops back to pass, looking, still looking down the field for Callis, overthrown. Overthrown the head of his intended receiver, number 11, Riley Callis. Incomplete, brings up 2nd and 10 at their own 24, or excuse me, at the Pointers' 24-yard line.
Yeah, and that one never had really had a chance. It was overthrown by about 3 to 5 yards, excuse me. And Oshkosh in kind of an offset I formation right now.
And it's a handoff to Pierenboom, who gets nowhere. Great tackle by Cameron Krasinski coming up from his safety position.
Yeah, Krasinski read that all the way. There would have been a really nice hole created by the Oshkosh offensive line there had Krasinski not stepped up and filled it.
Brings up 3rd and 9 now.
And Krasinski a safety, but he loves to play up towards the line.
Radovic in the gun. Drops back to pass, looking, throws over the middle, incomplete. Off the fingertips of his intended receiver, number 25, Dom Tortorello, excuse me.
Yep, that's Tortorello, the return man. And I was nervous for a second that a possible flag could have been thrown on Sam Shaffer. They are going for it.
They're going for it on 4th down.
Again, not surprised as we've seen Oshkosh miss 2 field goals already in this game.
So 4th and 9 at the Pointers' 23. Radovic in the gun. Drops back to pass. Looking, throws, and it's complete to Riley Callis, and he's going to get the first down and more out of bounds. So once again, gets the first down for Oshkosh, moves the chains.
Yeah, Callis just much too fast. That was Cameron Krasinski who was coming up and playing coverage from his safety position. And Callis just streaking across the field, and once he had the ball in his hands, he had open green space. And 1st and goal now for Oshkosh.
So 1st and goal from the 8. That's a handoff to Pierenboom. Up the middle he goes. And looks to have maybe gotten inside the 5-yard line. It's hard to tell from up here. Exactly. So 2nd and goal from the 5. 11:44 left here in the ball game. Stevens Point up over Oshkosh, 27-14, courtesy of the Sam Shaffer interception returned for a touchdown.
If the Pointers could somehow keep Oshkosh out of the end zone here, that would be huge.
So Radovic in the gun, drops back to pass, rolls to his left, throws, incomplete.
Yeah, they're going to say
Tortorello was out of bounds.
They're going to say Tortorello was bobbling the ball as he went out of bounds and didn't gain full control until he was out of bounds. So Tortorello there, Tortorello, the intended target on the past 2 plays there.
So it brings up 3rd and goal from the Pointers 5-yard line for Oshkosh. If you're the Titans, do you give it to the running back Pierenboom, or do you try and get another touchdown pass?
Well, given the fact they're probably going to go for it on 4th down anyway, I wouldn't be surprised, and I probably expect them to give it to Pierenboom.
And it's
that's a push-off.
No flag, no offensive pass interference.
Yeah, that was terrible.
For the Titans, no pass interference as Omari Johnson tries to plead his case, but that's a touchdown from Radovic to Garand.
That was terrible. And good thing that we've got this video evidence of this game, because you could point back to that and just say simply it's a bad call. Omari Johnson, almost blocked there on the kick. Good. But Omari Johnson had every reason in the world to be pleading to the ref, because it was a clear 2-handed push-off, which left the receiver wide open. And now what was once a 13-point lead for the Pointers all the way down to 6 points just like that.
And like we said before, after that Sam Shaffer interception return for the touchdown for the Pointers, the game's not over yet, and you can't really count out the Titans' offense and how things can change in only one play, and that drive proved it.
Yeah, you got to play all 4 quarters all the way through, and I know it sounds like a cliche sometimes, but it really is the truth. Stevens Point feeling very good about themselves, leading this game by 13 points with just over 13 minutes on the clock, and it took less than 2 minutes for Oshkosh to drive all the way down the field, and now a touchdown puts Oshkosh back ahead. So you want to be careful with the ball if you're the Pointers offense. Obviously, you want to stay aggressive, and you're playing for the win always, but just be extra careful. You can't afford any silly turnovers here, especially deep in your own zone.
Exactly, as Jaden Haig will come on for the kickoff and deep back to return for the Pointers, Almonte and Stegall, as Almonte will return this inside the 5, across the 5 to the 10 to the 15 to the 20 to the 35, the 40, just short of the 35-yard line.
And if Almonte somehow could have found his way all the way over to our near side of the field, the left side of the field, the bottom side if you're looking at it on the TV, he probably would have been gone. There was nothing but open space, but he just wasn't able to get his way, find his way over here. Still a fantastic return overall by Christian Almonte.
1st and 10 at their own 34 is where the Pointers will start this drive, as Shamaje Williams is the running back for the drive on this drive for the Pointers on this play. So Harrow in the gun, Harrow in motion now, and a false start on the Pointers.
Oh my goodness, Ben, how many false starts can you have?
Either false start or a holding, it seems like, on almost every drive for the Pointers.
And holding, definitely. Offensive holding. Yeah, so false start. And again, offensive holding is a killer. That's one of the worst penalties that you can take as offense, but at least it happens during the course of a play most of the time, or because it's an effort type play. False start, just a mental error every time, and the Stevens Point offensive line now, well, not just the offensive line, actually tight ends have been called for it too, but Stevens Point offense as a whole, way too many mental errors.
As Harrow's in the gun now, drops back to pass, looking, throws, and it's complete to Harrow. And nice completion from Harrow to Harrow.
And I'm not quite sure who it was. It might have been number 93 of the Titans that got a hand on that pass. It might have been Trenton Lacombe. We've said his name a couple times over the course of this game, but that pass slightly deflected, still able to be corralled, though, by the Pointers.
So second and eight, from their own 36-yard line. Just about 10.5 minutes left here in the ball game. Christian Almonte in motion now. And Harrow takes a snap, pulls it down, runs ahead for some yards, just short of the first down, maybe 2 yards short.
Yeah, he was running with some power that time. He ran right over A.J. Plua, who stepped up to make the tackle. Plua 6'4", Max Harrow 6'2", so pretty good size there going at it.
So brings up 3rd and 2 now. Harrow in the gun, waiting for the snap. And it's a handoff to Williams, who bounces it outside. He's got room to run, breaks loose, spins through a tackle. Moves the chains for the Pointers. Exactly what you want to be doing with a 6-point lead.
Yeah, eating up some clock, but still efficiently moving the ball downfield. The Pointers actually, overall, through 3 quarters, the Pointers own the time of possession by 17 minutes through the first 3 quarters. So Pointers have been doing a great job controlling the tempo of this game so far, and you, just like you said, Ben, this is the time you want to be doing it as time winding down in the 4th quarter.
Pulsifer in motion now. Harrow takes a snap, handoff to Williams, bounces it outside, tries to at least, and another flag.
Most likely
could be another holding penalty.
Call. Yeah, that's what I was going to say too. And it looks like it's going to be on point. So we're waiting. Can get the call here. Indeed, it is a holding call on point.
We were just talking about how you want to get some plays that'll move the first down marker, keep the clock moving with a 6-point lead. What you don't want with the 6-point lead is a penalty just like this holding call.
Definitely not. It'll stifle your offense, who was moving quite well, because now you have to face a 1st and 20. Zach Bosick comes into the game, first time we've seen him in a while. But 1st and 20 is just a situation you never want to be dealing with. You have to get at least 6 yards on every single play to have a chance.
And it's a bad snap. The play's whistled dead, so maybe a false start. And Almonte was a man in motion.
And you know what? That is a blessing in disguise, even if it is on the pointers, because that was about to be really messy, and it is a false start on Stevens Point. But that snap came in. The timing was off as Christian Almonte was sent in motion, and right as he passed in front of Max Harrell, the ball was snapped, and it bounced off the legs of Christian Almonte. So, again, without that false start penalty, who knows what might have resulted in that play.
So it brings up 1st and 25 from their own 35. Harrow in the gun. Takes the snap, drops back to pass, looking, keeps it himself, keeps it, runs it up the middle. Oh, what a hit.
Oh.
Number 8 from the Titans. That Scott Skornicka, the linebacker, put a solid hit on Harrow as he kept the ball himself and ran up the middle.
And again, I mentioned it a second ago, Harrell, a pretty decent-sized guy, but you never want your quarterback taking a hit like that. I mean, that's a hit that even when a running back gets hit like that, you cringe. So your quarterback goes down like that, you're going to hold your breath for a second, but Harrell popped right up, and he seems to be fine. That was the smackdown, though. Laying the smackdown was Sicornia.
Harrell takes the snap, and it's a delayed handoff to Williams, and he's immediately taken down. And he was tackled by number 45 on the Titans, Logan Heisey.
And Ben, this is most often what happens when you start a drive, 1st down and 20, is that a few plays later, even if you pick up a couple positive yards, you're still at a 3rd and 18 situation. And realistically, it's tough to pick up 18 yards on any play, let alone 3rd down.
So 3rd and 18 from their own 42. Harrow in the gun. Williams next to him. Harrow takes a snap, rolls out, and he's hit and sacked. That's number 49 for the Titans. Tyler Watson, junior defensive lineman from Cedarburg, Wisconsin. Huge play if you're the Titans.
And unfortunately,
just under 7 minutes left here in the ball game, so still plenty of time. Brings up 4th and 20. It brings up 4th down.
And unfortunately, you can feel the momentum shift. You can feel the tides changing here as everything was going right for the Pointers in that 3rd quarter. But so far, the 4th quarter has been all Oshkosh. And the Pointers defense are going to be faced with the tough task of stopping this high-power Titans offense once again. Because what's different this time is if the Titans score, they go ahead. Which harkens all the way back to what we talked about way back in the 1st quarter after the Pointers scored an early touchdown and missed.
And a delay of game, I think it was.
A delay of game called on the Pointers. But yeah, back in the first quarter, right after the Pointers' first touchdown, they missed an extra field goal, and we were commenting about how...
And the punt's away, returned by Tortorello at about the 30, across the 35, the 40, and that's going to be a
flags all over the place.
That's going to be a block in the back on number 41 of the Titans. That's Steven Scherer II, a running back, block in the back as he illegally blocked Sam Shaffer. So that return's going to send Oshkosh back a little bit.
Yeah, and again, just to finish up what I was saying real quickly, if the Pointers unable to stop Oshkosh here, and Oshkosh scores. And then, of course, given the fact, I'm just going to assume they hit their extra point, that missed extra point by the Pointers in the first quarter indeed could come back and be the game changer. Man, if the Pointers lose this one by 1 point, that is going to be tough to swallow.
It will be. So once they figure out this penalty and the yardage and the spot of the ball, it'll be first down for Oshkosh. No flag on the play, as the head official says. So Oshkosh is going to get some pretty good field position to start their drive, Jake. There's been some questionable calls, no calls to say the least in this game.
I was just going to say, you got to wonder how many of these refs are from the Oshkosh or Fox Valley area, because Oshkosh kind of getting the benefit of every single call here today. And again, the Pointers have been able to overcome the penalties so far, but they're just stacking up right now.
So 1st and 10 at their own 46. Radovich in the gun, drops back to pass, looking, throws, hits Tortorello out of the backfield, and he's immediately hit and wrapped up by number 27, Julian Givens, and he's tackled inbounds. The clock keeps moving.
And that'll cause a 2nd and 9 for the Titans. The clock winds down to 5:40 now. And Pointers defense just needs to remain solid.
Radovich in the gun. Handoff to Pierenboom, and he's tackled by who else? Boyd Delabrew, the senior on senior day, having a great game. 2 sacks in the first half. Yep. And now a tackle that could be considered a loss.
Delabrew stepping up, as well as many of the other seniors today. It's going to be 3rd and 9 now for Oshkosh, and Oshkosh in a really interesting position, because if they get stopped here, I highly doubt they're going to go for it.
So 3rd and 9 at their own 47. Radovich takes a snap, drops back, rolls right, looks, still looking, and he's going to keep it himself, and it's caught by Tortorello, and he has enough for the first down. So not what you want if you're the Pointers defense, excuse me.
4 missed tackles there, 4 missed opportunities to get Tortorello out of bounds, and everything about this possession just changed. All you needed to do is get a stop there, and you get the ball back, and you can eat up 3 or 4 minutes on offense.
Radovich in the gun. Tortorello in motion now into the backfield, and it's a handoff to Tortorello, and he really gets nothing on that play.
Yeah, the Pointers had that one sniffed out all the way. Tortorello was following.
Great tackle on that by number 57, Kendrick McGahee, sophomore defensive lineman from Milwaukee.
Yeah, Tortorello was following all of his big linemen all the way to the left side of the field, but just really no openings created. And a great job there by the Pointers defense.
2nd and 9 at the Pointers' 38-yard line for Radovich. Radovich takes a snap, drops back to pass, looking, throws down the field, and it's complete to Guerin. One of his favorite targets on the day. Mitchell Guerin gets the pass, and enough for the first down. And really, Jake, Oshkosh, the offense of the Titans is really looking like the offense from the first half, driving up and down the field at their own will.
Yep, things changed for a little bit there during the middle of the game, but exactly like you said, this looks like the offense we saw at the beginning of the game, just doing what they want.
Radovich in the gun, keeps it himself, and he's sacked. Number 27, Julian Givens, with some pressure, teaming up on that sack with number 24, Ryan Strick. And a loss of yardage, huge play for the Pointers defense. Just about 3 minutes left in the ball game.
Yeah, really, really good pressure there for the Pointers, and Strick with not a blatant helmet-to-helmet call, but the way things were going today, I wouldn't have been surprised if Strick would have got called for that hit on the quarterback. Luckily, he did not.
So 2nd and 14 at the 20 of the Pointers. Radovich takes the snap, drops back to pass, looking, still looking, and he's sacked. Number 92 for the Pointers. That's Jashawn Witt. Great play for the Pointers defense brings up 3rd and 23 now.
Deshaun Witt, the junior out of Green Bay, Wisconsin. And something that the Pointers haven't done much all game is sack the quarterback, and now you get back-to-back sacks. 3rd and 23 for the Titans. The difference here, though, Ben, is the Titans likely to go for it on 4th down here.
And if you're the Titans, you really got to take a shot to the end zone. Radovich takes a snap, rolls, keeps incomplete. Low throw for his intended receiver.
But as I mentioned,
tell who it is. It is Tortorella was his intended receiver. Brings up 4th and 23, and you got to go for it if you're the Pointers, if you're the Titans. Just under 2.5 minutes left here in the ball game.
Oh, you absolutely have to go for it. Of course, no 2-minute warning in college football, and the Titans down to just 2 timeouts as well. They can, however, get a first down if they get the ball up to the 7. Biggest play of the game here, Ben.
Radovich in the gun, waiting for the snap. Crowd on its feet. Radovich takes a snap, rolls, looks towards the end zone. Incomplete. His intended receiver was number 11, Riley Callis, and the crowd and the Pointers going wild on this after this play.
And that was triple coverage that ball was thrown into. It was 17, Donovan Lucas, and 27, Julian Givens. I don't know who the third man was, but good coverage there by the Pointers, and not much real chance to catch the ball there if you're the Oshkosh Titans. But man, oh man, does that swing things here, Ben. That changes things. Just over 2 minutes to go. 3 timeouts for this Pointers team. So really, they can take their time, control this game, and do what they want with it. And Max Hero, again, under center.
And it's a handoff on an end around to Almonte. Oh, what a hit. That's number 7, AJ Plua. And Oshkosh taking their timeout. We're going to take a timeout as well. 2:06 left in the ball game. Pointers up 27-21.
UW-Stevens Point is home.
It's a university where professors know your name and get you involved in research.
They inspire us to realize big dreams.
At UW-Stevens Point, sustainability is what we stand for.
Our beautiful campus encourages exploration, developing new fields, and problem solving for the real world.
It's a great place to launch your career.
UW-Stevens Point is home.
Apply today at uwsp.edu.
And welcome back to the broadcast here, folks. SPTV on the broadcast. I'm Ben Zatuni. Alongside me is Jake Senholz. Jake, paint a picture for the people at home.
Well, the picture right now is looking pretty if you're a Pointers fan. All you need is a first down here as Oshkosh is down to 1 timeout. You're leading this game by 6 points, just over 2 minutes to go. Again, a first down will pretty much seal up a victory for the Pointers.
So 2nd and 7 at their own 32. Harrow in the gun. Handoff to Williams. Gets maybe, still going, gets maybe 2 yards, 2 to 3 at the most.
And the Titans are going to take their 3rd and final time out here. But the key has been, as I think we're going to stay right here through this timeout, the key for the Pointers is get that first down, but also protect the ball. You cannot fumble the ball right now, especially Max Harrow has taken a snap under center. He's not used to doing that. There's potential to fumble the ball there. If you're going to go with a pitch play, make sure that the pitch is good. If you're going to go with the handoff, make sure the handoff is clean. Of course, that first down is very important right now, but even more important is not turning the ball over as the Titans spend their 3rd and final timeout. So, again, all the Pointers have to do is come up with 1 first down here, and they can run the clock out.
And at this point in the ball game, there's really no need for the Pointers to even think about passing the ball.
I wouldn't think so.
So 3rd and 6 at their own 33. 2 minutes left here in the ball game. The Pointers up over the 10th-ranked Titans, 27-21. Harrow, the quarterback, in the gun. Williams next to him. A receiver at the bottom of the screen. 2 at the top. Now Harrow in motion now. And it's a handoff to Williams.
So they're not going to get a first down, and
who doesn't get enough for the first down.
Oshkosh defense doing what they have to, setting up their offense for an opportunity
and if you're the
at a
Pointers,
win now.
You can just run this clock down as far as you want. 26 seconds left on the play. 25 now on the play.
So there's going to be
clock.
about a minute and 10 seconds remaining when this ball is snapped.
And the Pointers could really take a delay a game here, just to further let the time run out. And that looks to be what they're doing. Or they're going to take a timeout as
I
Coach
think they're
Breitbach
probably going
is
to call a
thinking
timeout here with about 1 second remaining. And indeed, that's what Coach Breitbach
so
does.
1:11 left here in the ball game. Titans out of timeouts. The Pointers have 2 now.
Typically, I agree with the strategy of, take that delay of game and take that extra second or 2 off the clock. But typically, most teams that do that have a lot of trust in their punt game, and you just don't know what kind of kick is going to come off the foot of Sam Bleasy. So Coach Breitbach electing to not give the Titans offense a free 5 yards. So again, the Titans defense doing exactly what was asked of them. The Pointers offense unable to pick up a first down, which in those types of situations, I know you don't want to throw the ball. It is risky to throw the ball, but sometimes it just almost seems worth it to make one attempt to get that first down because, again, if you're able to come up with the first down, it is game over. But now instead you got to put your defense back out on the field, and you're going to give Radovich and this Titans offense a chance at the win. Good punt, though, by Bleasy this time.
As Tortorella returns it. Oh, what a block!
And that was a clean hit.
That was a clean hit, a huge hit. Number 36 on the Titans. That's Ben Meyer really laid the wood on Omari Johnson on that play.
Yeah, Omari Johnson having himself a fantastic game, but that was not a great moment for him. He did get up right away, but he kind of got smacked.
Now, if you're Oshkosh, 59 seconds left here in the ball game, what do?
Well, Ben, you have 0 timeouts, but you don't want to go completely away from the run because the run is pretty much what's gotten you here. They are lining up in an empty backfield, though, so I would expect a few quick passes, maybe spike the ball, and then a few shots at the end zone. And there's one quick pass. So
the Titans hurrying up to the line. That was complete to number 11, Riley Callis. 50 seconds left in the ball game. 2nd and 3.
So they're going to
Titans up at the line.
They're going to move the ball over midfield and then spike it.
And they're short of midfield. Brings up 3rd down. 38 seconds left in the ball game.
That's going to move the chains, actually,
and they're going
Ben.
to spike the ball here, it looks like. And they do. So 36 seconds left in the ball game.
Indeed. So just like I had thought, you see a couple quick passes, a spike, and you're not quite in position to throw the ball at the end zone yet. However, only 36 seconds remain. 5 men split out. They're probably going to pick up 10, 15 yards and get out of bounds here. At least that's what I would do if I was the play caller.
Radovich in the gun now. Quick pass over the middle to Callis. Gets enough for the first down. So the chains will move once again.
All right, now watch for sure. The ball has got to go to the sidelines. Maybe time for one more quick pass. They're going to spike it again.
They're spiking the ball once again, so 25 seconds left here in the ball game.
And so far Oshkosh looking pretty solid in this the 59-second drill, I guess you could call it.
So 2nd and 10. Radovich in the gun now. And the pass is complete to Guerin, and he gets out of bounds. Great job for Oshkosh. Great job by Guerin for Oshkosh getting out of bounds.
Yeah, and you just knew that was coming. You can't really eat up much more time over the middle of the field, and you need about 10, 15 more yards here to start taking realistic shots at the end zone. Only 21 seconds remain.
21 seconds, 3rd and 1 at the Pointers 34. Radovich in the gun, drops back to pass, looking, throws over the middle, intercepted! The Pointers are going to win this ball game! The Pointers are going to beat the 10th-ranked Titans! Jake, what a game!
What a game indeed. interception for the Pointers was number 31, the safety, Brendan Canterbury, and that was off the deflection. Ben, did you see who deflected that ball initially? I think
it was off the Titans wide receiver's hands, and it was hard to tell, but needless to say, Jake, the Pointers are going to win this ball game. They're going to beat the 10th-ranked team in the country.
And what is that? Does that make them the 11th-ranked team in the country? No, not. But this is exciting.
One of the biggest wins. The biggest win of Coach Breitbach's Pointers career, being the first-year head coach, and the biggest win in Pointers football history since I've been at school.
And what a thrill for the seniors on this team as well. Wow.
Oh, man, what a way to go out. Your last day at home, your last game at home. What a play. Time runs out. The Pointers have beat the 10th-ranked team in the country as the Pointers celebrate. Coach Breitbach got a Gatorade bath. The Pointers beating the Titans 27-21. Jake, I can't believe this just happened.
I really can't believe it either, man. This is, I hate to say it, but you come into this game against the 10th-ranked team in the country, you don't really have all that high of expectations, and the Pointers football team comes out, puts on a fantastic game. They overcome so many different things throughout this game, being it penalties, turnovers, everything like that. They make the most of the situation, and indeed, they're going to get out of this game with a 27-21 win. What a game, Ben.
I'm on cloud nine right now.
Again, the Pointers come up with 4 interceptions of the quarterback Kyle Radovich, and Radovich came into the season not turning the ball over very many times, and like I just mentioned, the Pointers able to pick it off 4 times today, and they were able to control
4 interceptions, 4 sacks.
And they were able to.
This Pointers team came to play today. Major props to Coach Breitbach and the rest of his coaching staff for getting this team in the right mindset. And early in the ballgame, it didn't look too good for the Pointers.
It didn't, but, you know, it took that interception and the player of the game in my book today, 2 players of the game, and they both wear the number 5. I think Max Harrell played extremely well today, but really the game changer was Omari Johnson. His first interception was converted into a touchdown by the Pointers offense, and then, of course, his second interception he took to the house. And the Pointers, unable to score that many points with their conventional football, the conventional running the ball, throwing the ball into the end zone, so they got to come up with points in other areas, which indeed they did today. So just overall, a really fantastic effort. And even Victor Ponterio got in on the fun today as he nailed a 48-yard field goal. So everybody contributing today, and Coach Breitbach, of course, is probably going to be addressing the penalty issue, as don't have the final results here, but the Pointers, man, were they called for a lot of penalties today, Ben?
They were, as we see the Pointers celebrating at midfield, deservedly so. They just beat the 10th-ranked team in the country, the biggest win for this Pointers football program in a long time. Huge win for first-year coach Greg Breitbach. We're going to take a commercial break, and we'll be back with a short post-game show.
You can't go and work for a software company that's quite like this.
With programming, you see this concept become a reality, and I think that's really rewarding.
When people first come in, they immediately realize they are a part of a family.
They really care that people are happy here.
You're going to find that you're going to get up in the morning and you're going to look forward to coming to work. We've got a core of individuals that are going to reach a lot of new heights.
We're growing fast and always hiring. Apply today at skyward.com/careers.
Don't have a television? Don't worry. SPTV is available on demand at uwsp.edu/SPTV. Find your favorite shows on our website, plus links to all of our YouTube content. Stay up to date with SPTV news that includes information about campus and community happenings. And don't forget to like us on Facebook. We're SPTV-UWSP Television. SPTV. Let's make media together.
UW-Stevens Point is home.
It's a university where professors know your name and get you involved in research.
They inspire us to realize big dreams.
At UW-Stevens Point, sustainability is what we stand for.
Our beautiful campus encourages exploration, developing new fields, and problem solving for the real world.
It's a great place to launch your career.
UW-Stevens Point is home.
Apply today at uwsp.edu.
I just wanted to get good grades and to do well. But it also made me realize that I have a lot of career goals.
You're there to get a full college experience, not only participate in your sport, but participate in things outside of that, and it's all about growing as a person.
My coaches have helped me with figuring out who I really am. Their lives are dedicated for us to succeed.
Being a part of the different activities and organizations that I've been a part of, I'm actually able to see myself where I'm like, hey, I actually can make a change. I'm one person that can make a difference.
Division III has helped me to develop teamwork skills, critical thinking skills, time management skills.
It's not just about basketball, or it's not just about school, it's about developing yourself as a person altogether.
College has given me the flexibility to pursue my passions and my interests, and I've recreated my identity for myself aside from just being an athlete.
My greatest personal discovery has been that I am capable of doing things that I didn't know I was capable of doing.
To be able to study what I wanted to and continue to play the sport I love, all of those things came together very nicely in one package in Division III.
When you're in college, you kind of find out who you are. And throughout your 4 years, you develop yourself with all the different experiences, which leads into dedicating yourself to your community, to your family. So when you're a senior, you're coming out a well-rounded person.
College has given me the flexibility to pursue my passions and my interests outside of the classroom and outside of the court or field. I've had the ability to get into different activities and organizations, and I've recreated my identity for myself aside from just being an athlete.
Getting to be involved in a lot of different things, ranging from obviously being a student athlete to getting involved with my campus and my community, and not only being allowed to do that, but being encouraged to do that.
The opportunity to be able to study what I wanted to and continue to play the sport I love, to have the professors know me on a personal level, all of those things came together very nicely in one package in Division III.
Being a part of the different activities and organizations that I've been a part of, I'm actually able to see myself where I'm like, hey, I actually can make a change. I'm one person that can make a difference. It really helps you develop thinking from other people's perspectives and looking at problems from outside the box.
Division III has helped me to develop teamwork skills, critical thinking skills, time management skills.
I've definitely learned how to really be myself. I found out, yes, I am actually a good leader, and yes, I can actually put myself forward because I am good enough. I can do it. Coming in to college, I just wanted to get good grades and to do well. But it also made me realize that I have a lot of different career goals, and I've learned so much about myself that I was always like growing and changing.
When I got to college, it forced me to step up and become more of a leader, and I think that was something I had the capability of doing, and forever grateful that being at a Division III school gave me that opportunity.
You have to dedicate your time in the classroom, you have to dedicate your time in the gym, on the field, on the court.
Our coaches and the entirety of the athletic department, they valued the student athlete going out into community and trying something new and getting involved in campus life.
You can get involved in so many different things. So the possibilities are truly limitless for what you can do with your college experience. You can kind of make it your own in the Division III setting. So I would encourage people who want to have flexibility to pursue different interests and passions to go D3.
Media Studies is a program for people who love to tell stories, whether that be in written form, visual, or audio.
Media Studies is exciting because it's always fresh, it's always new.
Media is at the center of everything we do. More and more people are asked to engage with media and use media. Our program really provides students with skills and techniques to be better prepared for that in the future.
We offer courses in media production, both video and audio, nonfiction and fiction, music production,
production, journalism, film studies.
Media studies is a great way to get hands-on experience in the field that you're looking to do. They teach you the basic concept behind everything, and then they tell you to go do it.
We really pride ourselves on thinking of a wide set of opportunities that we can give our students.
The student organizations are a great asset. We have SPTV, the student television organization, 90 FM, the radio, and The Pointer, our student-run newspaper.
It's a great way for students to get involved, learn skills that they need for class, and meet new.
And welcome back to Gerke Park here, folks. If somehow you're just tuning in, where have you been? And you just missed one heck of a football game. The Pointers beating the 10th ranked team in the country on senior day. Their rivals, UW-Oshkosh, they win 27-21. I'm Ben Zatuni. Alongside me is Jacob Senholz. Jake, what a win. Easily the biggest win for the Pointers football team in a long, long time. And a great win for first-year head coach Greg Breitbach.
Yeah, this game offered so many exciting moments and so many big-time plays, so many changes in, I guess you could say changes in momentum, but just big plays back and forth. We saw both quarterbacks airing it out. We saw turnovers by both teams, but man, what an exciting finish to this game as the Pointers end up with their 4th interception to seal the game. And on top of that, the Pointers not only beat the 10th ranked team in the country here, they beat them and they looked good doing it. And you got to kind of wonder if Oshkosh came into this game as ranked number 10, sitting atop the WIAC, if they were maybe slightly overlooking this Pointers team today. But the Pointers came out and gave the Titans one heck of a football game, and I'm glad that we were here to watch it.
Yeah, it was a great game for me to call my last Pointers football game alongside our sports producer, Joey Hipsch. His last Pointers football game, your last Pointers football game too, Jake. The Pointers moved to 3-5 overall, 2-3 in the WIAC. Titans are now 5-3, 3-2 in the WIAC. And we were talking about before we started our post-game show, it kind of was the tale of two halves for both teams.
It really was the tale of two halves. Listen to this, Ben. UWO in the first half, they were pretty much controlling the ground game. They were doing what they wanted, moving the ball any way they wanted, and we kind of noted they got back to that in the fourth, a little bit in the late fourth quarter. But listen to this, Ben. Oshkosh only had 15 rushing yards in the entire second half. Only 15 rushing yards, so that means not only were they playing from behind, but for some reason, whether it was the Pointers' defense or just a coaching scheme, the Titans went away from what they know best, which is rushing the football. They only ended up with 107 yards on the day, and they had 92 going into halftime. So just a pretty interesting there. The Titans ended up blowing UWSP out of the water as far as passing yards, but again, that's because they were playing from behind. Another key thing here, Ben, 45 minutes and 29 seconds was the time of possession for the Pointers. So the Pointers holding the ball for 16 more minutes than the Titans here. And again, all these things kind of just make me wonder if the Titans came in and really weren't expecting this competitive of a football game.
Yeah, but as we know, any game in the WIAC is a tough game. A couple of years ago, you could easily talk about these teams are kind of the doormats of the conference, and then you have Oshkosh and Whitewater at the top. But now they're all mixing together, and any given Saturday you can win a ball game.
That is very true, and of course with this win, it moves the Pointers to 2-3 in the WIAC. It drops the Titans to 3-2. Hey, so the Pointers still right there. They're still in the mix of things, still in the thick of things. Of course, they have a very tough test going to UW-Whitewater next week. But hey, after a win like this, why would you not go into that game against Whitewater with anything but confidence? This game today shows that you can play with the best teams in your conference and the best teams in the country at that. All you got to do is play your best football. And you know what? I would go out on a limb and say that this wasn't even the best football that this Pointers team is capable of playing. They definitely can shore up a few different things on offense. They need to find a way to get more total yards too, Ben. Only 254 total yards.
And work the rushing game more.
Work the rushing game more
game plan.
For sure. And it is running back by committee and that's quite obvious here for UWSP. But you just need to overall get the offense going a lot more. I was impressed by the quarterback, though, freshman Max Harrell. He made some really nice passes today, especially he dropped a dime. It looked like an Aaron Rodgers pass in the corner of the end zone to Christian Almonte to initially put the Pointers up by 7, and then they never looked back after getting that lead. So just a really fantastic game overall. A couple other things that I wanted to point out here. Penalties were a real thorn in the side of UWSP. UWSP called 12 times for a total of 91 yards, but then if you look, Oshkosh was called only a total of 4 times, but for 57 yards. So penalties definitely playing a factor in today's game for both teams. Third down conversions, Point was only 4 of 11. Didn't go for it all on fourth down, but look at this. 2 for 2 in the red zone, and going all the way back to today's pregame, you and I discussed how that was one thing that you absolutely have to capitalize on. When you get inside the red zone, you absolutely need to come up with points. Pointers were able to do that both times they were in the red zone today, and on top of that, Victor Pontario hit 2 field goals in this game. So really, just a great game overall, contributions from every side of the ball, including special teams.
Yeah, and just looking through the game day program real quick, earlier this season after their win over Dakota State, Omari Johnson was named the WEAC Defensive Player of the Week after 2 interceptions. Wouldn't be too much of a stretch to say he's going to get that same award after his performance today.
And I believe he had a pick 6 in that game, too.
He did, yes.
So almost an identical game today, and you definitely have a front-running contender for WEAC Defensive Player of the Week in Omari Johnson.
And looking ahead to next week, as Jake mentioned, the Pointers go on the road to face Whitewater, a 1 p.m. kickoff. Whitewater first in the conference, 4-0 in the WEAC, 6-0 overall. And coming into today, Whitewater is ranked 5th in the country. So we'll see if the Pointers can have back-to-back weeks of magic and beat 2 top 10 ranked teams in the country. And next week's going to be fun to watch.
Hey, and if that happens, you have got to start giving some respect to this Pointers program and start talking about them as serious, at least playoff contenders to get to the playoffs.
And they're a fairly young team, too.
They are a young team. Obviously, today was senior day. The seniors still out on the field being honored, taking pictures together and stuff like that, even though most of the crowd has left Gerke Park this afternoon. But it is a very young team overall. You've got a young quarterback in Max Harrell, who definitely seems to have established himself as the starter going forward. Earlier in the year, you had some questions and some quarterback by committee between Mitchell Neubauer, Matt Urmansky, and Max Harrell. However, Harrell now has established himself as the number 1. It looks like Coach Breitbach is going to stick with him. And that's good because this Pointers offense, one thing that they didn't really have all season was continuity. And now they kind of do, even with that running back by committee. All 3 running backs playing pretty well today. Zach Bosick, once again, not seeing the field too often, which is strange because he's still technically number 1 on the depth chart. But Pointers are finding a way to make it work, and they come out with a great win today.
Yeah, what a game for the Pointers. Jake, I really don't know what else to say. I'm kind of left speechless that for our last game we were able to see the Pointers beat the 10th ranked team in the country. Anything else you want to say to the people tuning in before we end our broadcast?
No, just, of course, thank you as always for supporting us and watching us here on SPTV. It has been a joy calling games with you and Michael and everybody else. And I'm sad this is my last football game for SPTV, but happy going out the way that we did. So I think that's pretty much it. Once again, the Pointers get a win, 27-21, and this was a fantastic game. If you, for some reason, tuned in late or you didn't catch most of this game, I highly recommend going back in the archives and watching our coverage because this one really was worth your time. Pretty quick-paced moving game today. I think.
Yeah, it was.
It was only
a little
about
over 3 hours.
Yeah, a little over 3 hours, and I'll take that any game, you know.
Yeah, one heck of a game. Like Jake said, go back and watch it on YouTube. It should be available to go back and rewatch the game, see all the highs and lows, really pay attention to what Jake said about how it was a tale of 2 halves.
Yeah, that 15 yards rushing in the second half kind of just blows my mind. I think it shows more about the Pointers defense even than maybe it does the Titans offense, because they still did have a decent number of attempts, but only for 15 yards. So just a lot of positives to build off of going forward for this Pointers team.
Yeah, a lot to build off of, and they get right back to it next week on the road against Whitewater, and the week after that on the road against River Falls to finish out their season. For Jake, I'm Ben. Final from Gerke. The Pointers beat the 10th ranked team in the country, the UW-Oshkosh Titans, 27-21. That's all we have for you here. Thanks for tuning in all season. It's been a blast calling games over my last 4 years here, and thanks to Jake for coming on last year and calling games with me. It's been a blast. Hats off to Joey Hipsch, our sports producer, doing all the stuff and making sure the ship sails the right way in all these games. And great job to Michael up on the roof, manning the camera all game. I know it was kind of windy and rainy, so great job to him. And we hope you all tune into the fall when we start broadcasting men's and women's Pointers basketball. That's all we have from the game. See ya, folks.